family owned and operated, give them a try, because small business owners like us really do have your best interest in mind. And when you need advice from Southeastern Wisconsin's foremost glass experts, call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of Southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
The Brewers are back home to take on the dreaded Chicago Cubs.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Big hop for Terang. Tosses to first in time. And the Brewers have shut out the Cubs.
Our coverage of the I-94 rivalry starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, who's paying to get rid of the abandoned boat?
I'm Julia Fello, not afraid of calls for his arrest.
Starting off with an issue on westbound Capitol Drive, right about at 110th Street, just before you get to the freeway. The left lane is blocked with a crash, so be careful with that. On the freeways, we've got backups from Highway 145 all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side, you're seeing delays from Watertown Plank Road almost up to Capitol Drive. Westbound 94, watch for delays from about 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lozgo with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, cloudy, low of 39. Tomorrow, afternoon sunshine, a high of 56. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee nonprofit contributing $10,000 toward the cost to remove an abandoned boat on the city's lakefront.
President of the Daniel Hone Foundation, Daniel Steininger, was driving along the lakefront last October when he tells WTMJ he noticed a couple, later identified as Richard and Sherry Wells of Mississippi, wandering near their grounded boat, Deep Thought.
She was seriously injured. I talked to him right away, tried to hook him up with a lawyer and get him some help.
Steininger says while the boat clearly needs to be removed, he doesn't agree with those upset about the Wells' inability to pay for the boat's removal.
They don't have any money. I mean, these poor people's lives have been destroyed.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Governor Evers responds to threats of his arrest by federal officials. The governor released a guidance in April on how state employees should interact with ICE officials in the workplace. The Trump administration's border czar, Tom Homan, responded for the governor to, quote, wait and see what's coming.
When you cross that line of impediment or knowingly harboring, concealing illegal alien, that is a felony, and we're treated as such.
The governor clarified that goal for guidance.
To provide clear, consistent instructions to state employees and ensure they have a lawyer to help them comply with all federal and state laws. Nothing more, nothing less.
The governor insists he hasn't committed any crimes.
The White House releases President Trump's proposed budget for the 2026 fiscal year.
The White House budget proposal calls for $163 billion in cuts to federal spending, targeting the Departments of Education and Health and Human Services, USAID, and the Environmental Protection Agency. The blueprint being sent to Congress includes a 13% increase in defense spending. A president's budget proposal is essentially a wish list, the administration putting on paper its policy priorities with funding figures. Now it's up to Congress to develop a budget and pass it. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Coming up, it's Friday. Yeah, so that means it's time for a beer.
Ooh, I like the way that sounds. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:05. Colette, let me tell you about an awesome trip I've got coming up. It's with Colette. It's to America's Music Cities. We're going to head down to New Orleans, to Memphis, to Nashville, all gussied up for the holidays. It's going to shine and sparkle and look fun. It's very early December. We're back in time for Christmas. We have great food, great fun. It's Elvis Presley's Graceland. It's the Opryland Resort in Nashville with a very special holiday dinner and all the fun of New Orleans. It's America's Music Cities for the holidays. I've got brochures, including pricing, pictures, detailed itinerary. You send me an email, I get you the information right away. My email is john@WTMJ.com, JOHN@WTMJ.com. We've even got an informational meeting coming up where I will be there, Colette will be there. I'd love for you to come hang out with us, meet us, and get your questions answered. Details on the meeting, pricing, and pictures if you send me an email, john@wtmj.com. America's Music Cities, New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville, this December, early December. Won't you come with us? I'll get you the email, john@wtmj.com.
Original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like women's Alfred Dunner styles. Half price, $1 off select KT birdseed cakes. Plus, find value on live plants in our outdoor garden centers, now open.
Upside down tomatoes, here we come.
Plains Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:07.
A sign of the season in Shorewood.
As long as the weather cooperates, Estabrook Beer Garden will open for the season this evening. Milwaukee County's 13 permanent and traveling beer gardens are big revenue generators every warm season. In 2024, they brought in just over $3 million, a big leap forward from 2012 when Estabrook was the county's only operating beer garden and made $82,000 in revenue. Tonight's opening ceremony begins at 6 with Milwaukee County dignitaries on hand for the inaugural keg tapping. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Finally home after a 4-6 road trip. The Brewers welcome in the Cubs for a 3-game weekend series beginning tonight. Coverage following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. And Packers rookies are assembled in Green Bay for day one of a 2-day rookie minicamp.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:08.
John Mercure here for Dave Drake-Camp Heating. Get on their schedule. They're going to take great care of you. Now's the time of year where it all starts to come together. The furnace is still on a little bit. You're about to shut it down. The air conditioning needs to get fired up. You want to make sure that you are in good shape. With everything blooming, lots of gunk in the air, it makes you miserable. Your home comfort system can help protect you. Dave Drake-Camp is protecting our home comfort. They have for a very long time. I know that our humidity is under control. I know the systems run great. I know the sniffles and sneezes are at a minimum thanks to Dave Drake-Camp Heating. They installed our new system a few years ago. They've also come out and repaired stuff, and we get routine maintenance from Dave Drake-Camp Heating. You can count on the friendly, honest experts at Dave Drake-Camp to simply recommend a tune-up. Get you a new system if you need it, and start with a free estimate if that's the path for you. They're not trying to make a sale or talk you into buying anything. No. At Drake-Camp, that's not how they work. You'll always get a truthful assessment from their kind and professional teams. It's why we've welcomed them into our home for more than a decade. Dave Drake-Camp Heating.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John Mercure and Julia Fello.
Julia, we made it.
Oh, my goodness.
It is Friday.
It went by quick for me.
Yeah, me too. It was a good week. Quick week. And here we are at Friday already. We've got some fun stuff planned. We've got some big interviews planned. But first, right off the bat, what we're chasing today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Okay, we're learning details about the parade that the Army is planning. It would also coincide with Donald Trump's birthday. Check out some of these detailed plans. The Associated Press got their hands on a planning document that was just finalized 2 days ago. Not publicly released. Here's some of what we know. The parade will be on June 14th, if it happens. It's still waiting final approval. That coincides with Donald Trump's 79th birthday.
Is that Flag Day, too?
It is. It's also Flag Day. Yes, very good. So it's all three of those things. Some of what would be in the parade, according to Army sources, a Stryker battalion with 2 companies of Stryker vehicles. They're like big, intimidating-looking war machines.
Oh, wow.
2 companies of tanks, a whole battalion of Army tanks in the parade. Bradley fighting vehicles. Howitzers, those are the really big cannons on wheels. Infantry vehicles, 7 Army bands, parachute jump by the Golden Knights, historic vehicles, aircraft overhead, including groups of helicopters, and 6,000 members of the armed services The White House has not yet signed off on this, but they have asked the District of Columbia for permission for the parade.
If you were assigned it, would you go?
Yes.
Me too.
Me too. It would be fun. I like the idea of the parade,
the
actually.
tanks? That'd be
Let's see it.
I wonder if it will mess up the infrastructure. That was the question
Oh, yeah,
before.
the D.C. mayor's worried about that.
Number 2, more fallout from the Indianapolis Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton's dad going on the court confronting Giannis. We all know about this now. ESPN reports the front office of the Pacers had a meeting with Halliburton's father, John. They all came to a decision. The dad is not going to attend the Pacers games at home or on the road for the foreseeable future, even during the playoffs. So there you go. Don't do that. Don't go on the court and egg on the opposing team even after your son got the game-winning point.
Egg on. That's the third thing. Very good, Julia. 2 of the eggs at the Oak Creek plant with our Falcons have hatched. I'm looking at the live camera right now, and the mama or the daddy,
So
I can't
fluffy.
tell which, is sitting on top of the 2 babies. But 2 babies have hatched at the Oak Creek Power Plant, the We Energy's Peregrine Falcon program. The parents are Essity and Joel. This is Essity's 6th year in Oak Creek, but it's the first babies for the couple.
Wow.
Yeah, they finally got together, hooked it up, and now there's babies
They have
that are happening.
two babies?
They have 2 babies, and there's 2 additional eggs that haven't hatched yet.
Okay.
If you want to see the live cameras, you can text the word Falcon, to 855-616-1620. We give you a link. I'm looking right now. You can see the shell of one of the eggs is off to the side. And
that
either
opens.
Essity or Joel are sitting on top of the little falcons to keep them warm.
Parents are worn out.
Yeah, they are.
They look like they're sleeping
They're
on
just
top
chilling.
of the babies.
10 eggs at the Port Washington Valley Power and Weston Power Plant have yet to hatch, but will in coming weeks. So there's 10 more eggs there, 2 more at Oak Creek. Oh my gosh, look at the bird. Look at the bird. The bird's moving around like it just shifted position.
Yeah, they're endangered. Oh, that's such a good mama.
Yeah, or daddy. They both take turns.
Yeah, getting nestled.
Yeah, all tucked in there.
Well, they're on like these little pebble rocks.
Which is crazy to me.
And cold.
Right on the rocks. Text the word Falcon, and you can check it out for yourself. It is 3:13.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Oh my gosh, I'm going crazy looking at the Falcons. You got to text the word Falcon. It just like took its little beak and
like
it moved the
getting
egg
busy.
safely under it. That's a good mommy or daddy. I wish we could tell if it was a boy or the girl that was on top of the
It cannot
eggs.
get comfortable over these. Well, there's
Oh.
babies and eggs.
It is absolutely remarkable. Speaking of
babies, 2
remarkable,
eggs.
I'm going to hang out somewhere cool tomorrow. Kubota Orange Days at Bill's Power Center in Brookfield, delivering savings you need for the life you love. They've got the best sale of the year going on at the best place, Bill's Power Center. The mowers, the tractors, the zero-turn mowers. It's Bill's Power Center. Tomorrow, I'm going to be out there probably about 11 o'clock, I'm guessing. 11:30 maybe. Come on out. You can grab some lunch. You can get financing, the best savings. It's Bill's Power Center in Brookfield. Check it out, billspowercenter.com. I'll see you at Bill's. It's on Capitol in Brookfield tomorrow.
When we come to God with our problems, we rarely see the emptiness as any part of God's answer. But God fills our needs no matter what vacuum has been created. As Jesus kindly spoke to the disciples, filled their net to overflowing, so he speaks to us with kindness and assures us that he knows what we need.
Dr. Dan Pavla this week on the Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
We are sponsored by Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lozica, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, we still have this issue on westbound Capitol Drive. Just before the freeway, it is an accident in the left lane, so watch out for that. On the freeway itself, though, we're seeing delays from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way down past Capitol. Northbound slowing down from about Wisconsin Avenue up to Capitol Drive. And then on southbound 43, we've got a couple of areas of heavy traffic, one coming down from Keefe down past Locust. Back on the brakes south of North Avenue down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise. Northbound's pretty much slow from the Marquette up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 39 degrees. Tomorrow, slight chance for showers, a high of 56. On Sunday, increasing clouds, a high of 63. Monday, partly cloudy, 61. On Tuesday, partly cloudy, a high of 72. Right now, it's mostly cloudy and 47 degrees. The Wisconsin Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Draycamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDraycamp.com.
This weekend, you might be going to the movie theaters. And Meta is trying to get into the movie business. That's the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. They want to encourage you to be on your phone while watching movies in theaters. Yes. So apparently 20% of moviegoers 6 to 17 years old already used text messaging and use their phone during a movie.
That's a big number.
Yeah. So I've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah, for sure.
And can't you dim it a little bit?
Right, exactly.
So this is how they tried it out. They tried it out with Alamo movie theaters. Have you ever been there?
Never been to Alamo, I don't think.
You sit on stools, you can get food, and they're very, very big sticklers about not talking in their theaters.
Yeah, I'm a Marcus guy. Never been to an Alamo.
I've only been there once in Kalamazoo. So they worked with the company Blumhouse. They're known for making really scary movies.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried it out. They brought back a 2022 movie called Megan. And in real time, this is what happens. The movie has a already written out chatbot message from directors and talent during the film. They message you like in character. So Megan is like a doll, like a Chucky doll kind of. So basically, like the Chucky doll is like messaging you as Chucky.
Whoa!
With exclusive trivia, photos from behind the scenes. A few people were interviewed by the New York Times after they did it, and they said they got kind of bored with it after about an hour into the movie.
I don't want to be distracted. I don't want to have to decide between my screen and the big screen.
Yeah, I saw Megan in theaters, and there's a lot of things.
Wouldn't you feel like you'd miss something if you were looking at your phone to look at trivia? You'd miss what's happening on the screen.
Because there's big twists and turns in the movie and shocking moments. And if you're looking down at your phone at hey, look at there. Did you know that this person, it took 8 days to film this or build this doll?
And if I'm sitting next to that person, I don't want the brightness of the phone shining in the dark movie theater.
New York Times took a photo and everybody was on their phone and it was lighting up everybody's faces.
Can't we get away from the screens for a little while anywhere?
That's the point, is to not be in reality and to, relax for a couple hours.
Let's hope that trend doesn't spread. It is 3:19 at WTMJ.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Hey, it's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Before I ever read these ads, I was a customer at Sit Means Sit Dog Training. I know the good work they do. I've got beautiful dogs. We've had them a long time. Bella's almost 10. Baxter's about 5. Hard to believe. And they behave better now than they ever have thanks to Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Matt and his team's there. The best trainers, the best techniques. They just get it. They're kind. They're efficient. And our dogs are less jumpy. They're less barky. They behave better. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. We started with a free consultation. You can do the same. It's Sit Means Sit.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Okay, we got to weigh in on this. So this ridiculous, abandoned, ugly, ratchet boat has been sitting on a sandbank off of the marina in Milwaukee for 6 months. It's been there since October.
Gross.
For more than 6 months. I do not understand how we are on plan C to get rid of the boat. How can we not get rid of the boat? Why don't we just let volunteers or DPW workers or someone with supervision literally go out into the water with chainsaws and sawzalls, put a little protective net around the boat so nothing floats into Lake Michigan and is captured like they do for an oil spill, and just tear the thing apart and piece by piece carry it out of the water.
Can we tow it?
I think it's too stuck to be towed because it's deep in the sand.
For like almost a year.
That's why, right? Because it's buried now. Why? How have we not been able to solve this? Like, I feel like, Julia, if you and I put on safety goggles and waders, in a weekend, we could tear that thing apart with a couple of friends and get it out of the water. Maybe not the part that's completely buried. We could dig that out. I don't have the answer, but I do know that 6 months sitting in the water is absolutely ridiculous.
It's full of water. That's
True.
why they said it's too heavy. So get a little generator and a little pump to pump out the water.
Yes, pump the water out of there.
And they said there's a hole in it. Okay, let's plug the hole.
Right.
Hello.
How is this taking so long? I don't understand. The mayor's also getting exasperated. This is a county issue. It's considered in county property, but the mayor's really weighed in. This was the mayor, Vince Vitrano, caught up with the mayor yesterday.
Can we put it, so the suggestion was made, I think by Jerry at the salvage place, that the art museum had reached out to him as interest. The art museum was quick to point out to us that that didn't come from us, but is there a home somewhere not on the beach for this boat?
Yeah, I think there is a home for it. It's in the trash, so we'll eventually get there.
Let's get it out of there. I want to bring up one other thing. So they hired a guy, a salvage expert, who really isn't apparently an expert. His name's Jerry Geyer, to go in, winch the boat, and take it out of there. So Jerry Geyer goes in there this week with a pontoon that looks like it's barely seaworthy.
That?
Didn't that look awful? And his pontoon gets stuck. Did you see that thing, Julie? It looks like a raft from Gilligan's Island.
I thought the same thing.
Who vetted that guy? Who at the county decided this is the guy we're hiring to free the boat?
Now we have two boats.
Stuck.
It's worse.
It's double. We're double stuck now. And why the insistence on removing it in one piece? Part of the argument has been we have to get it out of there in one piece. No, we don't. Why? There's no fuel to leak. It ran out of gas. That's why it's stuck there.
If there's lubrication or something like that, get an engineer or something, a mechanic or a boat guy to remove the engine.
Great point.
Blow it up.
Or you know what they see like when there's a spill in the Gulf of Mexico. They put those big net things with the flotation devices that catch and contain the oil and the lubricants. Why can't we just use that and get it out of there? I'm genuinely boggled by this.
People are already stealing the seats inside.
Yeah.
There was like animals in there.
Why don't they steal the rest of the damn thing? Lumber's really expensive. Why doesn't somebody steal it and try to repurpose the lumber?
Scrap metal, John.
Yeah. The guy that did the cool wood structures up at the NFL draft, Ike Winters, he should steal in the dark of night the wood from that, and he could make like plaques of boat designs or something.
Can we get a crane and pluck it out?
Yes.
Come on.
Why haven't we done that? So there is a plan. We don't know the details. Now on Tuesday, I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
They're going to close down part of Lincoln Memorial Drive, and they're going to bring it up over the rocks. They're going to grab it and somehow bring it out. Why is this taken 6 months to get to this point?
Are we going to have a live look at this? Is this during our show?
I hope so. This is breaking news. We should do the show from down there with the boat in the background.
Figure this out.
Yeah, I think you and I already figured it out. Why is it taking so long?
Ridiculous.
So, Sheldon Wasserman is the county supervisor whose district this is in. I know he's frustrated, too. He will be with us in the studio at 3:45. We're going to ask him these same questions. Wasserman with us live coming up in about 15 minutes on WTMJ. I mean, these are legitimate questions. Don't you think these are legitimate questions?
It's been more than 200 days. Enough.
Enough.
Ridiculous.
Get it out of there. All right, let's take a look at the markets on this Friday, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Another great day. The S&P 500 has now wiped out the losses from the Trump tariffs. It's on a historic winning streak. The S&P 500, that's the one most of our 401ks are tied to. This is great news. The S&P was up 82 points today. That's 1.5%. The Dow was up 564. That's 1.3%. The NASDAQ was up 266 points on the day. That is 1.5%. It's Annex Wealth Management, financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. The guy in charge of Annex Wealth Management, Dave Spano, joins us live coming up at 4:45.
We didn't write the headline. The Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Market shifts, economic uncertainty, and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. No doubt, standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil, and we're totally on board with that. But retirement planning isn't a set-it-and-forget-it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized financial, retirement, estate, and tax plans that adapt as needed and put your goals first always. Already with another firm, but getting the feeling you're lost in the shuffle or they just can't keep up? A second opinion could be the smartest move you could make. If you're managing it yourself, we'll fill in the gaps with professional precision. You work hard to build your future. Don't leave it to chance. Put a pro on your side. Get a proactive plan from a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Kohl's, and the Memorial Day savings have arrived early at Kohl's. They're giving all of our valued listeners, like you, exclusive access to their Friends and Family pricing event. It's something they've never done before. Shop Kohl's Friends and Family pricing store-wide. Save 65% on furniture and mattresses, sofas, sectionals, dining tables, bedroom sets, mattresses, everything. I just shopped Kohl's, just got great deals, incredible customer service, and if you're shopping for appliances, take an extra 5% off. Extra 5% at Kohl's. You can shop all of your favorite appliance brands in-store or online. It's the Friends and Family pricing sale. Plus, they make it easy with 60 months financing. Exclusive savings won't last forever. Don't miss Kohl's Memorial Day Early Access Friends and Family sale. It ends Monday, May 5th. Shop at 4 convenient locations: West Dallas, Delafield, Oak Creek, Grafton. It's where I shop. Or browse online at Kohl's.com.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Kohl's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: will he lose his job over a messaging app?
I'm Julia Fello. A nationwide swatting sting with a Wisconsin connection.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound on 43, we've got some delays from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette and basically back on the brakes from Lapham down to the KK River. Northbound slowing down out of the Marquette up to Keith. Westbound 94 slowing from 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's just got some backups before 76th Street to Hawley Road, and then again through the Stadium interchange. We're still dealing with an accident on westbound Capitol Drive at 110th Street. This is just before the freeway. The left lane of westbound Capitol is blocked right now with this crash. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Slight chance of showers tonight, a low of 39. Tomorrow, a slight chance of showers early in the morning. Afternoon, you'll have some sunshine. 49 at the lake, 56 inland. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 47 degrees and mostly cloudy.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will be President Trump's interim national security advisor with the removal of Mike Waltz. Waltz was the official who accidentally allowed a journalist onto a Signal app chat when real-time details were shared about airstrikes in Yemen. CBS's Charlie D'Agata reports that now calls for Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to be fired are growing louder on Capitol Hill.
There is an investigation currently underway that we have confirmed. This is a Signal chat that he had with his wife, brother, and lawyer about the same military operations as they were underway. And we can confirm the Inspector General, which had already started an investigation into his use of Signal, that second conversation will be part of that investigation.
The Republican majority in the House of Representatives has blocked an inquiry into Hegseth's use of Signal.
A Racine man gets nearly 4 years in prison for a cross-country swatting scheme using Ring cameras.
Prosecutors say Kaya Christensen Nelson from Racine stole Yahoo email logins, accessed Ring accounts, and made fake 911 calls, claiming shootings and hostage situations. When police responded, Nelson watched through the victim's doorbell cameras and even taunted officers over the speaker. The week-long spree in 2020 hit cities like West Covina and Oxnard, California. Nelson has been in federal prison in Kentucky since August of last year. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
An Illinois man will spend 53 years in prison for a hate crime attack on a 6-year-old Muslim boy and his mother.
Joseph Shuba stabbed 6-year-old Wadi Al-Fayumi 26 times, killing the little boy and wounding his mother. Shuba was their landlord, and prosecutors say he was angry about the Israel-Hamas war starting when he attacked them in October 2023. He was found guilty in February of charges including first-degree murder. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson ready to see an abandoned boat stuck on Milwaukee's lakefront gone once and for all.
Yeah, I think there is a home for it. It's in the trash.
The mayor tells WTMJ after nearly 7 months he's happy the county has arranged for the boat to be removed next Tuesday.
Really wanted to get rid of this nuisance, this public nuisance that's washed up on the beach here. Look, I'm agnostic about how it gets, cleared out. I just want the thing to be cleared out. That's it.
Milwaukee County is planning to shut down part of Lincoln Memorial Drive next Tuesday to facilitate the boat's removal. We'll talk more about this coming up in less than 15 minutes.
The School of Architecture and Urban Planning at UW-Milwaukee has some big ideas for Milwaukee's lakefront.
A few decades ago, the Park East Freeway redevelopment, where Fiserv Forum is now, began as a student project. Now students are tackling the vision for the I-794 corridor. Molly Burns tells WTMJ.
We took a lot of time studying other cities that have also done highway redevelopment projects, realizing that it's not really something new.
Gordy Russell wants to implement Milwaukee County's Vision Zero to eliminate traffic fatalities.
Separated bike facilities, raised crosswalks, lots of traffic calming, and a better integrated transit system.
At the 3rd Street Market Hall, Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Lake Michigan is calling as Milwaukee's Ferry Express trips start up today. Senior VP at Lake Express, Aaron Schultz, tells WTMJ.
In June, we'll add some night trips, but right now we have a 6 a.m. and a 12:30 that gets you away from Milwaukee and on your way to West Michigan. We'll get across Lake Michigan, 78 miles in 2.5 hours.
Trips ramp up next month.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. After conversations with the Indiana Pacers front office, Tyrese Halliburton's father, John, will not attend the team's home or road games for the foreseeable future. That according to a spokesperson for the team. This comes after an interaction with Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo after the team's playoff loss to the Pacers on Tuesday. And the Brewers are home after their road trip to face the Cubs tonight. It's a 3-game weekend series at American Family Field. Our coverage starts right after the 6 o'clock news, right here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
John Mercure here for Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now. Right now, you get up to 6 years of 0% financing at Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. That's right, 6 years, 72 months. That's amazing. And the Fello experience is always included. That means the Fello team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the work is done. Set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. They come in, they sit down at the kitchen table, you walk through everything. It's a piece of cake. A Fello design expert will listen to your vision and then present the different colors, sizes, and customizations needed to make that vision a reality. It can feel overwhelming to consider what feels like limitless possibilities. I know, it can just seem like an awful lot, right? But Fello's design team can help narrow those options down for you to create that dream upgrade. Hurry, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions apply. Deal ends May 31st. Visit PellaWI.com today. It's PellaWI.com.
I'm Libby Collins. This week, we talk with filmmaker Michael Jarr about a compelling documentary he's made, The Joshua Glover Story.
Joshua Glover had been arrested. Sherman Booth goes over to the jail and tries to find out if this is true. Then he gets on a horse and rides through the downtown streets of Milwaukee like Paul Revere, calling people to turn out and telling them that a man's liberty is at stake.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
More MPS schools are set to close. The Buck season ends with some fireworks, a sudden change for Kohl's, and much more. It's the Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
A worker's dead after an industrial accident in New Berlin.
Surprising detail revealed today regarding the plan to release Slender Man stabber Morgan Geyser.
At issue is the proximity of Geyser's planned group home to that of Peyton Leitner.
Literally, these two locations are less than 8 miles from each other.
The Department of Health Services made no attempt to contact our family while drafting Ms. Geyser's release plan.
Milwaukee Public Schools will relocate students at 2 more schools next month.
I can't express my sincere gratitude enough to everyone for their patience, their understanding, and partnership.
It was a big blow to Milwaukee when the CDC's lead poisoning team was let go. Milwaukee's health commissioner, Dr. Michael Todoritis, had worked with that team for 2 months.
We're actually exploring bringing on some of those staff temporarily.
Wisconsin's first tornado of 2025 touching down late Monday, northwest part of the state.
A funnel cloud was spotted forming near Augusta in Eau Claire County.
Much of the damage from last night's severe weather included downed trees in roadways and in yards like this one here right behind me.
You knew it was right overhead, and so it was very scary.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced a 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine from the 8th to the 10th of May.
This is best characterized as a tactical pause from the Russian perspective. That gives them the ability to rearm and refit.
Dr. Kimo Ayoun, by the authority vested in me as chair of the Marquette University Board of Trustees, I hereby install you as the 25th president of Marquette University.
He's the first person of color to lead the university in its 143-year history.
He has the relationships with all the deans. He had a deep relationship with Dr. Lovell.
This is an easy place to come to work every day.
Inbound pass goes to Trent. Trent being badgered, turned it over. Halliburton drives in, gets the shot with a foul. Are you kidding me? A heartbreaker in the end for Milwaukee. And now more pushing and shoving. Giannis is being held back from Mathurin now. I don't know what happened there at the end of this thing, but Giannis is in the middle of it, and clearly his fuse has reached its breaking point.
It was Tyrese that coming in the floor, and this is what we do, this is what we effing do, this is the F we do. That's very, very disrespectful.
Now you have your son apologizing after having a great game. Like, why would you do that?
Going out on the court, that was wrong. I should have found a way to restrain myself.
I can't take responsibility for something that I didn't do.
Mayor John Nelson addressing several misconduct allegations in front of a full house at the Franklin Public Library Wednesday.
If you had a problem with me, why wasn't it brought forth prior?
50 years ago, the Vietnam War ended, and Operation Baby Lift began. Tim Hoy was 4 months old when he was rescued from a communist orphanage and brought to Wisconsin.
It's very difficult to fathom how they were able to bring children from Vietnam and then placed in various countries around the world.
Deputies in Palm Beach County, Florida, arrested a 22-year-old man this week who investigators say had contact with Natalie Rupp now for months.
There's no doubt in my mind they have stopped
a mass shooting.
Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan has temporarily been suspended to perform judge duties in Wisconsin.
In a perfect world, we would have the opportunity to have a courthouse where people would never have to worry about coming there for their activities.
They made her do a perp walk. We didn't even make President Trump do a perp walk.
The recent arrest of a circuit court judge in Milwaukee County on the mind of workers' rights marchers downtown today.
Thousands taking to the streets of Milwaukee on May Day.
We are here to demand the Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan that the charges against her be dropped.
Seems like Kohl's has fired their chief executive officer.
The Wall Street Journal says Buchanan was terminated because of a highly unusual business deal he made with a woman who he was once romantically linked to.
They knew each other from when they both worked at Walmart several years ago.
Please welcome Gorillas.
There has been a debate that's made its way across the internet basically all week. Who would win in a fight? 100 men or one gorilla?
I don't think we realize how strong a gorilla is.
I don't think there's any question that 100 men, I mean, we might have some casualties.
What a week.
Trash.
Read a book.
Jazz hands.
Take care. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That's the Week in Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. What is going on with that boat along the lakefront? The guy kind of at the forefront of getting this taken care of has been Supervisor Sheldon Wasserman. He is with us in the studio. Up next.
Okay, adventurers, listen up. Fox World Travel just dropped some seriously incredible Fox Group vacation destinations for 2026. Set sail on a yacht through the Croatian coastline, join a thrilling African safari, or immerse yourself in the mecca of all flower shows in London. And for the first time, we're introducing a woman's-only tour, partnering with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel. But these are just a few of the exclusive offerings. But don't wait. They're filling up fast. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO to reserve your spot today.
John Mercure for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. They know Guthrie and Fry that better water makes a big difference. I've got their water softener. I've got their RO system. It's a filtering system, meaning the water that we cook with, that we feed the dogs, that we drink after we work out is crisp, clean, and clear. It's Guthrie and Fry. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company that you can trust. Owners Sue and Rob, they make sure their teams, when they're in your house, treat it like they're in their own house. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice. My choice is Guthrie and Fry.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
If you missed this...
Can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com. Presented by Dave Draycamp Heating.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lassica, how are the roads right now?
Well, we are seeing delays on 43 northbound coming out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound is slowing down from Capitol down to the Marquette as well. little bit more of a delay from about Lapham down to the KK River crossing. We got westbound 94 slowing down just before 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's also backing up from about 70th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. By the time you get to 35th Street, you should be good to go all the way into the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, a slight chance of showers tonight. The low will be 39. Tomorrow, a slight chance of showers early in the morning. Then you can see the sun. Afternoon sunshine. 49 at the lake, 56 inland. Sunday, increasing clouds, a slight chance of showers late Sunday night. 56 is your high by the lake. 63 inland will be your high Sunday. Monday, a slight chance of showers throughout the day. 54 by the lake, 61 inland will be your high. Tuesday, cloudy, 64 at the lake, 72 degrees inland. Right now, it's mostly cloudy in Milwaukee at 47 degrees.
All right, a little bit of background. A boat has been stuck off the shore of McKinley Marina since October. It's called the Deep Thought. It's a boat that ran ashore. It ran out of gas. It's been sitting there for a long time. You've seen the pictures on the news. It's been all over the place. The county has tried to get it removed. They hired a guy who thought he could remove it, and he can't. It's still sitting there. It looks like there's going to be a great effort on Tuesday to get this thing out of the water 6 months after it became stranded. Bringing to the conversation Milwaukee County Supervisor Sheldon Wasserman, who's been heading up the effort to get this thing gone. Supervisor, thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Julie and I have been talking about this a lot. I don't mean to poke fun at this, but how have we not been able to get guys with chainsaws, guys in waders, guys that could disassemble the boat a long time ago and piece by piece or by whatever means just take it out of the water?
Well, we had a salvager who said he could get it done. You know, we trusted him, and you know he has experience, and he thought he could do it. And it failed in October, failed last year, and then we thought he said he could get it done this spring, and we went with it, and he was not able to do it. In fact, his boat is now stuck right next to the other boat. So we have a problem now, and we're really going to plan B to hire a company that has experience with lifting objects, heavy objects out, and hopefully this will work.
So we're going to get a crane and pluck it out?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
It sounds like a crane. We're using a towing company that can remove semi-trailers along the freeway. They have experience lifting heavy objects. And hopefully it's going to work on Tuesday. We are counting on it because we do not want to go to Plan C. And
what's Plan C?
Plan C.
Blow it up. Set it on fire.
Well, the fuel's gone.
What would Plan C be?
Yeah.
It might be chopping it up like you talked about earlier.
John
but
and
I don't mean to
do
poke
that.
fun at it, but why didn't we do that months ago?
Totally.
It seems like that wouldn't be that big a deal.
You know, it's always better to remove this thing intact because you still have an engine in there. It has transmissions. You have mechanical parts that may still have
lubrication
and petroleum products inside. So we want to environmentally, it's better to always take it out in mass rather than just chop it up.
But couldn't we have set up like one of those booms with the nets, like when there's an oil spill in the Gulf that captures all that stuff and contain it and then chop it up?
You know, hindsight's always 20/20. You know, and you know maybe we could have. You know, we have all the salvagers from all over the Great Lakes are all talking about how they can do it.
We have the Port of Milwaukee right over here and cranes and all that. I'm like, what is going on?
We don't. You know, there's a story, and we don't know the full. We're going to look at this later. Our focus right now is get the boat out.
So both lanes of Lincoln Memorial Drive will be closed on Tuesday?
At this time, yes. The sheriffs are going to be shutting it down. We're also have we also have to make sure that people aren't right in front of this. Could become a big operation, so we don't want spectators just going right into the site. Previously, we had people. I was there when a tagger was spray painting it while Jerry and the salvage company was trying to remove it. So this is going to be completely a safe environment. We have to have experienced people do the work in a safe environment. So spectators will be kept away from this lift.
Sheldon Wasserman is with us in the studio. Thanks for your efforts. I know you really have been working hard to get this boat out of there. I want to ask you about Jerry. You brought up Jerry. He's the owner of Silo Marina. I was stunned. Not that his pontoon got stuck because I saw it. I want to ask you about the vetting process. Because this guy had a pontoon that looked like a makeshift raft. And it got stuck. What was the vetting process? Why did this guy get awarded this?
I can't speak about the exact details of this. This came from the county administration. I think it was, his price was right at the time. He has experience at the time, and he said he could do it, and we trusted him. And I don't want to criticize him. I don't want to say anything. He did the best he can, and he's tried multiple times. But I think there's a point where it comes that, it didn't work. We have to move on, and we have to get this boat out. So Plan B is in operation on Tuesday.
It's kind of dangerous, too. I saw some people taking the seats out, and they're, like, in it, like, trying to act like they're the captain. That's dangerous.
This is very dangerous.
It's taken on water.
And we also you have to get to it through these rocks, and the rocks are not stable. People are losing their cell phones. They've lost keys right in front of us. People have been digging their hands into the rocks trying to get this stuff out, let alone if you go in that boat and you fall off, you hit your head, you drown. It's eye candy. People want to play with it. They want to go out there. They want to be in it, and they want to have a part of it, and they want to spray paint it. It's out of control right now. And it's becoming dangerous, and it has to go.
So I respect that you tried to pursue getting the funding ahead of time, because we all know in anything in life, it's hard to get the money back once it's been spent. So the owners are not going to do this. They're in Mississippi. You tried to secure the funding ahead of time, which you did. So that all leads into the question, who's paying for it this time? How's it getting paid for?
Well, our first funding source was this anonymous donor, and we don't know. I don't know who they are. They contacted Mayor Johnson. We know that they wanted to put out some money, but we don't know how much money. We don't know if it's for the first salvage, which Jerry the Salvager is going to cost $25,000. This is going to cost at least double that possibly. And we don't know if that anonymous donor is going to kick in for this donation. We also have the Daniel Hohn's grandson, Dan Steinbringer, is also going to kick in $10,000 of his foundation money for it. But at the end of the day, our job is we're going to pay for it. The county's going to be paid for it because we're legally responsible. It's not the state DNR. It's not the Coast Guard. We wish somebody else was responsible, but we're responsible. We're going to put the money up front. We're going to get the removal done, and then we're going to go for finding who's going to pay for it, including the owners. And the current owners don't have money.
Are we going to find them and hold them responsible?
Well, they have no money. It's becoming a tragic story of this their dream retirement has turned into a nightmare for them, and they have absolutely no money. So they never signed the papers properly from the old people. They never registered it. So we're going to look at the old owners. They may have the deep pockets to pay for this, but it should not be the county taxpayers' responsibility for paying this.
Exactly.
As chair of the Parks Committee, I have to deal with pickleball. I got basketball courts. I have so much of deferred maintenance, and we're not ready for thousands and tens of thousands of dollars for boat removal.
All right. You mentioned the mayor. I want to play a clip from the mayor, Vince Vitrano, talking to the mayor today, and then ask you to respond to this.
Can we put it, the suggestion was made, I think by Jerry at the salvage place, that the art museum had reached out to him as interest. The art museum was quick to point out to us that didn't come from us, but is there a home somewhere not on the beach for this boat?
Yeah, I think there is a home for it. It's in the trash, so we'll eventually get there.
First off, I was going to ask you why the mayor got involved, but I think it was because someone approached him about the donation and secured the donation.
That's my understanding.
He
correct.
sounds very frustrated. Do you share that sentiment?
Absolutely. This boat has been there for months. It's an eyesore. It's an environmental potential disaster, and people can get hurt there. It has to go, and it's taken a life on its own. I mean, I was recently, my mom's in a senior center, and when you have older people talking about it, the first thing I in is, what's going on with the boat? And I leave the senior center, like, where's the boat? And these people are in their 80s and 90s, and they know about this boat. Everybody's talking about it, and everybody wants to know, and they can go down, and we're seeing just a mass of people, and everybody can relate to a boat that's stuck there, let alone the history of this family who just didn't have a clue what boat ownership was all about. And
or how to fill up the gas.
I know. It is absolutely unbelievable, this family and their dream, and they basically never should have been in boat business. If you don't even know how to put the gas in a boat, let alone do you know how to drive the boat, let alone how do you get to Mississippi from Manitowoc, Wisconsin? I mean, it's really a sad story, and people are just like, you just kind of scratch your head at this Because
Yeah,
it's
they do know the Mississippi River is not connected to Lake Michigan, right? I mean, it's just a strange story.
And it just keeps going on.
One of our texters said, we put men on the moon. Why can we not get this boat
I
removed?
said that yesterday. Skyscrapers.
Yeah. Let's go over the details again as best we know them, because on Tuesday there's going to be a major effort to try to get the boat out of there. Tuesday morning, they're going to get out there early. Is the best advice, if that's your route, don't go there at all, because this is going to start very early, likely Tuesday, right?
Correct. Lincoln Memorial Drive will be shut down between McKinley and Bradford Beach. So it's closed. And the sheriff's deputies are going to be shutting it down. You are not going to have access by vehicle. And as for people, spectators going down, you're going to be held back. So we have to keep this a safe environment for everybody involved, including the operators of this crane and the tow truck company.
Yeah, stay away from down there. You don't need to be down there taking pictures. Let's let them do their work and safely get the boat out of the water, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Sheldon Wasserman is the supervisor. This is in his district. We sure appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It is 3:56.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Kohl's Corporation fires its CEO, Ashley Buchanan, after less than 4 months on the job. The Menominee Falls-based company alleged that Buchanan had violated company policies regarding conflicts of interest. Vendetta Coffee Bar expands with a third cafe, this time in Milwaukee's Bayview neighborhood. The Italian-style cafe is set to take over the former Interval Coffee location at 2268 South Kinnickinnick Avenue. A.O. Smith increases prices on its water heaters by 6 to 9%. The Milwaukee-based company said the higher prices are due to the impact of tariffs on steel and components. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses, all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Connect Chiropractic in Tosa and Delafield, and coming soon to Oak Creek. As a matter of fact, Friday, 1 week from today, the 9th, they open in Oak Creek. I'd encourage you to go out there, 3 to 5:30, raffle prizes, thousands of dollars worth of prizes, chance to book an appointment, new patient specials will be happening. It's where I go. It's Connect Chiropractic. I go every single Thursday. It's put me in a great place. My shoulders never felt better. I carry stress in my neck, and they've made that diminish, almost go away. It's Connect Chiropractic. They're gentle. They're nuanced. They've been voted Milwaukee's top chiropractor by Milwaukee Journal Sentinel readers. I adore the team out there. Dr. Alex, Dr. Marley, Dr. Olivia, and Austin. Incredible people. No twisting, cracking, popping. It's nuanced. It's Connect Chiropractic. Check out the grand opening in Oak Creek on May 9th.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
The I-94 rivalry is more than just bragging rights. Get to the ballpark for Brewers-Cubs action May 2nd through the 4th and spend Friday and Saturday night under the lights and help the Crew defend American Family Field and the National League Central Crown.
That's your ball game!
Then pack the park for Sunday matinee baseball at the May 4th series finale and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day bundle. Get your tickets now at Brewers.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
You can't beat Berghardt. Sports lovers love us.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
The Brewers are back home to take on the dreaded Chicago Cubs.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Big hop for Terang. Tosses to first in time. And the Brewers have shut out the Cubs.
Our coverage of the I-94 rivalry starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, cutting funding for public media.
I'm Julia Fello. Who's asking for access to sensitive information?
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43 backing up from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. More delays from Lapham down to the KK River. Northbound 43 backing up right through the Marquette all the way to Cave. Westbound 94, you got some backups from 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up a bit from just east of 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, cloudy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, afternoon sunshine, a high of 56. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Trump signing an executive order to slash public subsidies for PBS and NPR, saying in part that it's no longer necessary. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
There are a lot of questions about how it is actually carried out, but we have heard from several of President Trump's allies, even just a couple of weeks ago when the presidents of NPR and PBS came to Capitol Hill and testified about this very thing. You've got people like Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene arguing that it no longer makes sense to put taxpayer dollars behind it.
The White House says there's bias in the public broadcaster's reporting. Paula Kerger, the CBO of PBS, vows to challenge it in court.
The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to clear the way for Elon Musk's Doge to access Social Security systems containing personal data on you and millions of other Americans. Emergency appeal comes after a judge restricted the team's access. The government says Doge team needs the access to target waste in federal government. An appeals court refused to lift the block. Social Security holds personal records on nearly everyone in the country, from school records to salary.
A Milwaukee nonprofit is contributing $10,000 toward the cost to remove an abandoned boat on the city's lakefront.
President of the Daniel Hone Foundation, Daniel Steininger, was driving along the lakefront last October when he tells WTMJ he noticed a couple, later identified as Richard and Sherry Wells of Mississippi, wandering near their grounded boat, Deep Thought.
She was seriously injured. I talked to him right away, tried to hook him up with a lawyer and get him some help.
Steininger says while the boat clearly needs to be removed, he doesn't agree with those upset about the Wells' inability to pay for the boat's removal.
They don't have any money. I mean, these poor people's lives have been destroyed.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Governor Evers says he's not afraid of calls for his arrest.
I haven't broken the law. I haven't committed a crime. And I've never encouraged or directed anyone to break any laws or commit any crimes.
The comments come from the Trump administration's border czar, Tom Homan. He told the governor, quote, "Wait and see what's coming." Homan was referencing the governor's guidance on how state employees should interact with ICE officials in the workplace. The governor reiterated.
In this country, the federal government doesn't get to arrest American citizens who have not committed a crime.
He insists that these kinds of threats should concern all Wisconsinites.
No Pizza Hut in Milwaukee today. The Milwaukee Health Department closing all 6 Pizza Hut franchises in the city for not having proper food dealer licenses. The health department says that 5 of the 6 locations have now submitted license applications.
Coming up, an important installation in Vatican City.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
When we come to God with our problems, we rarely see the emptiness as any part of God's answer. But God fills our needs no matter what vacuum has been created. As Jesus kindly spoke to the disciples, filled their net to overflowing, so he speaks to us with kindness and assures us that he knows what we need.
Dr. Dan Pavla this week on the Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. We talk all the time about Tri-County Contracting, the place to go for roofs and siding, but don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also does windows. Need a new front entry door? Tri-County Contracting. Or maybe a patio door that's always jammed. Get your free estimates today. They've been helping homeowners like you for 46 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, oh yeah, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:06.
Vatican firefighters installed the chimney that will signal to the world when a new pope is selected. ABC's Maggie Rulli.
Right now, there's 133. 108 of them were appointed by Pope Francis. 10 of them are American. Now, they'll all be voting inside. They will have sworn an oath of secrecy. They vote up to 4 times a day, twice in the morning, twice in the afternoon, until they can come to a 2/3 majority agreeing on who should be the next pope. Those ballots are burned. The smoke exits through that chimney on top of the Sistine Chapel. Black smoke means no decision has been made. White smoke means they have elected a new pope.
The conclave begins next Wednesday.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Finally home after a 4-6 road trip, the Brewers welcome in the Cubs for a 3-game weekend series beginning tonight. Brewers starter Brandon Woodruff continues to make progress in his rehab from shoulder surgery. That, according to Brewers GM Matt Arnold.
He's doing great. I mean, he was dominating those young guys, and the stuff is continuing to progress back in a great way. And so we want to make sure that he's recovering well. His stuff is progressing the way we want to see it. He's able to post every 5th day. I mean, that's going to be important for us, the rest of the season, because we do have a long season here and a long way to go, and we want him to be a big part of that.
Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ, and Packers rookies are in Green Bay for day 1 of a 2-day rookie minicamp.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:08.
John Mercure here for Colette. Colette, the tour company. It's who I always travel with. We take a Christmas trip every year, a little holiday trip, well before Christmas. This year's trip is America's Music Cities. I love this part of the country. It's going to be nice and warm and festive for the holidays. It is New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville. We'll discover America's musical legacy wrapped in dazzling lights and seasonal decor. The soulful city of New Orleans, the vibrant French Quarter. We stay right there, decked out for the holidays. Elvis Presley's Graceland and all the fun that comes with the energy of Memphis. And in Nashville, horse-drawn carriage ride, top-tier dinners, hotel is the Opryland Resort. It's going to be so fun. Won't you come with us? I've got information, details, pictures, pricing. Send me an email, john@WTMJ.com. My email is john@WTMJ.com. And we're having a come-along meeting. You can meet me. You can meet the Colette people. You can get a little slide presentation, get all your questions answered. Info on the meeting, which is free, and the itinerary and pricing if you send me an email. John@WTMJ.com. America's Music Cities, early December, New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville. Get me an email. John@WTMJ.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John Mercure and Julia Fello.
Milwaukee School District's battle against lead paint, lead dust continues. It's a story that's not going away. WTMJ Sean Brenda has been on this story from the very beginning. There are developments this week, and Sean is with us in the studio. Hey, Sean.
John, Julia, this week, Milwaukee Public Schools and the Milwaukee Health Department finally released the long-awaited lead action plan. The 23-page document details plans on how to properly remediate district schools of lead dust and be transparent with faculty and parents about cleanup efforts. Parts of the plan were discussed Wednesday night during a special meeting for the District Board of Directors meeting. Interim Chief School Administration Officer Michael Harris talked about what must be prioritized with cleanups moving forward.
We need to conduct lead stabilization using certified personnel. Again, that could be some internal and external supports to help us with this work. We also know that we need to isolate work areas during renovation. And then, of course, we need to implement aggressive dust control measures across all of our facilities. It's not a secret, our buildings are old, and we know that a lot of work is being done to update those buildings to ensure the safety of students and staff.
Harris also discussed to board directors how the district plans to move students around depending on how much lead dust is located within one school.
Temporary relocation plan, relocate school communities when 50% or higher of the surfaces are deteriorated, partial relocations at 10 to 50%. So basically we're looking at if we have space within our schools where we can relocate within the school and do partial closures so we can do that work safely and isolate that, then we can do that. Less disruption with the school community, and of course we want to make sure that we don't disrupt the teaching and learning of our staff and students.
Now, as part of the lead action plan, MPS will prioritize looking into 54 school buildings built before 1950 and check each school of dust lead particles. The district has the goal to remediate and make sure all those 54 schools are clean and cleared by the end of this upcoming summer break. The rest of the calendar year, John and Julia, will look at completing stabilization efforts built for schools built between 1950 to 1978. Clearance inspection for STARMS will take place at the end of next week. The Follett School is still being deep cleaned, and it could take another 4 weeks before we know whether the school will reopen anytime soon. A more specific timeline for when La Follette will become clearer once a STARMS Early Childhood Center receives a passing clearance. In the meantime, Westside Academy students will leave May 5th, and Brown Street Academy students will leave May 12th for their lead clean remediation. MHD found significant areas of deteriorated paint that were found throughout both buildings. Given that both schools were built in the 1800s, this presents a notable concern for lead hazards. Now, District Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius says while MPS's top issue is the safety of students at this time, a conversation must be held in the future about the future of district buildings.
We are doing everything we can. We probably are using up every paint contractor who is lead certified in the community and across the state, and calling on getting more for the summer to get this work done. We have children centered in every decision that we make, and their safety is our top priority. But we have to get to a point of having a conversation with our community about rebuilds.
It's not necessarily clear where that conversation will lead, but we do know that the schools with elevated levels of lead dust will be considered as part of the district's long-range facilities plan.
Interesting. She said rebuild.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big word. WTMJ, Sean, Brenda, you've done a great job staying on top of this, Sean. Thanks for the update.
Sure thing.
It is 4:13 at WTMJ. Couple of words for my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. It is Dave Drake Camp. Everything's blooming right now. That's great, right? It's fantastic. But what it also means is there's pollen and stuff in the air. It can make you really miserable. Your home should be a safe haven from all that. And with Dave Drake Camp, at least you know you can always breathe comfortably at home. Our home comfort is fantastic because we've been with Dave Drake Camp for more than a dozen years. From humidity control to filtering out the things that make you sniffle and sneeze, a new home comfort system installed by the friendly experts at Dave Drake Camp will have you breathing perfect air. Perhaps your system just needs some maintenance, and if that's the case, you can count on the friendly, honest experts at Dave Drake Camp to simply recommend a tune-up. We've had the tune-up from Drake Camp. Maintenance is crucial to keeping the efficiency of your system top-notch, so get on their schedule today. They're not going to try to make you a sale. That's not what this is all about. They're not going to try to talk you into buying anything. You'll always get a truthful assessment from their kind and professional team. It's why we've welcomed them into our home for so many years. I trust the teams at Dave Drake Camp. Visit davedrakecamp.com today.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best.
For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
All right, let's check those roads on a Friday. Debbie Lazka, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, southbound 43 at North Avenue looks like we got the right lane blocked with a crash. So that is going to definitely affect your ride. Got delays pretty heavy from before Capitol Drive down to that point. We've also got 894 southbound right into the Hale interchange. Another crash there. That one is off on the left shoulder. Those delays are going to build a bit slower, but they'll be there. So be careful with that. Northbound on 41, slowing from Blue Mound Road all the way up to Hampton. Southbound slowing from about Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for a shower, a low of 39 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy in the morning, sunny in the afternoon, a high of 56 inland, cooler along the lake. Sunday, increasing clouds, a high of 63 inland, a couple ticks cooler along the lake. Monday, partly cloudy, a high of 61. Tuesday, partly cloudy, a high of 72. Right now, quite a bit of cloud cover, and it's 47 degrees.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDrakamp.com.
All right, it's Friday. Time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilstad.
An everyday hero is defined as an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Bundeena, Australia. Gunya Beach. Blake Donaldson and his girlfriend were enjoying a quiet day on the beach. Very few people were there. It was very serene. When all of a sudden, they heard a woman scream. She was about 30 feet offshore.
I started crying. I said, please help me.
Why was Manny Zhang crying and calling for help? Because, she tells 60 Minutes Australia, she had just been mauled by a bull shark. Her leg bleeding profusely.
From the blood, the amount of blood coming out, I didn't actually see the shark.
Manny's losing a lot of blood, struggling to keep conscious.
For that moment, I think I probably will die.
So Blake hears the screams, and he can tell that she's in trouble. So, what does he do?
I just made the decision. Sure, there could be a shark, but my reaction was I just have to save this woman. I wasn't thinking about the shark. I wasn't thinking about my own safety. I just can't watch this woman drown.
Blake goes in. He jumps on a paddleboard, kicks on out there into the bloody shark-infested water.
It's either you just watch someone drown or you go out and help them. Like, a couple seconds could mean someone's life.
Blake was able to reach the woman and pull Manny onto the board. He kicked back for his life to get them to shore. And remember, she was like 30 feet out there. So they get back, and Blake's girlfriend starts a tourniquet on Manny's leg. And she's in rough shape. Her leg is bit up, but she's alive, thanks to Blake.
You know, they say you're a hero. I don't think about it, but then it sort of does hit you and makes you realize that you did save someone.
That's right, Blake. You did. You are an everyday hero. 60 Minutes Australia did a really nice piece on the story, how these two had a reunion later. Text the word hero to the WTMJ Talkin' text line 855-616-1620, and we will send you that story. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Festival season is just around the corner. We've got a pretty cool preview. That's up next on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
A Rolex isn't as cheap as a Casio, and you can't buy a gold bar for the price of a candy bar. But while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hassellus Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models. These are the best of the best, and now you can get them for way less. Like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Or a Sealy Posturepedic Golden Acres Pillow Top was $1,093, but the floor model is just $546. Visit any employee-free, hassle-less showroom and test your favorite floor model without salespeople breathing down your neck. You won't find these mattresses priced this low anywhere else. It's like buying a Lamborghini for $10,000 just because it sat on the showroom floor. Only a few floor models are available at each Hassellus mattress location, and when they're gone for good. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great Friday. Get ready for the weekend. Well, the Ethnic Festival season is almost here. In honor of the season, the festivals came together for a kickoff event at the Italian Community Center on Thursday. Just last night. It was pretty sweet. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano and Eric Bilstead paid a visit to get a taste of the food and drink samples.
Right here in our city in Milwaukee, well over 1 million people will embrace Henry Mayer Festival Park to celebrate heritage, history, culture, and the shared desire to feel included, to be seen, valued, and loved. And for decades.
German Fest, guten Tag. Was haben wir heute?
Heute haben wir Bienenstich und auch dann Bratwurst und Sauerkraut.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going. No, keep going. I want more. You gotta keep talking to her.
What else?
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien.
Aquí tenemos tortillas de harina. Las tortillas de harina se preparan con un rodillo.
Okay.
Las tortillas de maíz se preparan con la plancha.
So you said that you need to use the roller in order to create the paya, the flour to make the tortilla.
Yes. But if you want a corn tortilla, it's made with a press.
How did my friend do on his Spanish here?
Muy bien, muy bien. Yes, sí.
As far as I know. Festa Italiana, what's to eat here?
We have our famous Festa sausage with either giardiniera or peperoncini, one of the signature foods of Festa.
And for dessert, please.
Well, I don't have anything Italian in front of me, but leave the gun and take the cannoli. We'll have plenty of that, and tiramisu and gelato and all the other Italian favorites.
You know what I do appreciate is that everyone who is serving the food, showing off their festival, they sent it today. They are leaning in. I mean, they're all in. Some of these folks look like they just got off the plane.
And they want you to come back. Not like you were already here. No, come on and have some more.
What is this beer that you're offering?
This is Tyszki beer. It's actually from Poland. It's not available in cans here in the States. So we actually ship it from Poland to Milwaukee just for the festival.
So what makes a Polish beer?
It has more alcohol content.
Oh, wow, we can get behind that. Right? What's to eat around here?
We have Polish sausage, both fresh and smoked, as well as pierogi.
Ooh, Black Arts Fest is serving fish.
All right, so what do we got here? What are we serving up here?
I got black and grouper with rice pilaf and crawfish and shrimp egg touffee sauce.
Is grouper an easy fish to make taste phenomenal?
Yes, it is.
Why?
It adheres to all the flavors.
Yeah.
I can make this lemon pepper. I can make it garlic. I can make it barbecue if I wanted to.
Now,
it's a very mild fish.
With every talent comes the responsibility of cooking at every meal and every family gathering. Is that what you have to do also?
Why you want to jinx me like that?
Pride Fest, Wes, what are you serving up?
We are serving a Kylie Minogue rosé, sparkling rosé, and we are doing an Aperol Spritz with her rosé. We are, believe it or not, Kylie Minogue's wine company's biggest event partnership in the United States.
It looks like you guys have been a little popular today. I don't see a lot of...
We are running a little low, but we have plenty. If you're looking for a swig, happy to pour one.
Boy, we'll be having a wee bit of Jameson then, if you have it.
Absolutely. Would you like it with Jameson and ginger, or just?
I like it with Jameson and Jameson.
I would love to get it.
And here we go.
All right, now be honest. Do you think he's from Dublin?
I mean, I think you do a really good job making a pass at it.
I do a good job. Did you hear what she said? You got to have it mid-crowd here.
Yeah, okay. Well, what is that? That's some
it's
kind
with
of...
crowd.
Oh, it's with crowd. Okay. I thought it was
you knew that.
Just minty crowd.
Yeah. Nein, nicht Minzkraut. Das ist mit. Mitkraut.
Sorry.
Was ist los?
Lo siento.
That is Vincent Eric from The Morning Show, enjoying the food and drink at the City of Festivals kickoff event. Don't look now. It's hard to believe. Festa Italiana is around the corner. It starts May 30th. Before the end of the month, we have our first festival. I love the festivals.
Me too.
It's always fun to get out there. Let's check the markets on this Friday. The S&P has now wiped out all the losses from when Trump announced tariffs. On a historic winning streak, it's doing well. Did great today. It was actually up 82 points. That's 1.5%. The Dow was up 564, a strong week for the Dow. That's 1.4% just today. The NASDAQ was up 269. That is 1.5%. That's what I'm talking about on a Friday. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex. The main guy, CEO Dave Spano, joins us live, coming up here in 15 minutes on WTMJ. I'm John Mercure, joined by my friend Jay Saunders, the PR manager at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Jay, let's start with, it's May. Your restaurants are cooking up some great food, 2 special days. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, let's start with Mother's Day, John, because we got to take care of our moms out there. The Canal Street Cafe is going to have a brunch buffet, carved prime rib, glazed ham, salmon, homemade cinnamon rolls, plus Mom gets a free mimosa. If you prefer a Mother's Day dinner, Dream Dance Steakhouse has a great meal for 2, steak and lobster, sides and desserts. Make sure you get reservations for both of those options. And if you're looking for a gift for Mom, Cream City Coffee Company, our chocolatier in-house, is made some bonbons for Mom, so those sound really good. And you know what? Let's start Cinco de Mayo partying right now. Taco Spot at Potawatomi Marketplace has a deal on enchiladas and churros. Plus, you can get a great margarita for a great price at bars throughout the casino.
That sounds fantastic. Speaking of, what kind of fun's happening right now on the casino floor?
You know, we've got a couple of cool promotions running right now. You can go on a quest for unreal treasures by playing your favorite slot machine with your Potawatomi rewards card. And on Thursday nights, you can be one of 40 winners to go after a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. And on Saturdays, Gold Breaker is back. All you need to do, sit down, play your favorite slot machine, no drawing, no minimum bet, no player's card, just a random shot at 10 grand. Last week we had 2 winners, one of them on just a 10-cent spin.
Whoa, that sounds incredible. And speaking of incredible, the Potawatomi Sportsbook, what's happening there?
Well, this weekend should be a lot of fun. Cubs are in town for a 3-game series against the Brewers. Grab a mint julep, catch the Kentucky Derby Saturday. Saturday night, also a fight night with a championship boxing match. All of this on a 2,100 square foot LED screen.
Great food, great drinks. For more information, it's Potawatomi.com. Jay Saunders at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, John.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a cold case from the 1960s solved.
I'm Julia Fello. Not making it easy to buy a home.
I'm Debbie Lozigan, northbound 4394, just north of Howard Avenue. We've got a crash off on the right shoulder. You got another one on southbound 43 at North Avenue. We've got the outer lanes blocked, so only the center lane is available to use. So watch out for the big delays coming in from before Hampton. Northbound beyond that, or actually from the Marquette up past Keefe, you're going to see those delays there. And then our usual backups through the construction zones on 41. Northbound backed up from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up almost to Silver Spring. Southbound's backed up from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol. I'm Debbie Lozga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Slight chance of showers tonight, a low of 39. Tomorrow, more showers are possible early in the morning. Then you'll see the sun in the afternoon. 49 at the lake is the high tomorrow, 56 inland. Right now in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 47 degrees.
A happy and strange ending to a cold case from 1962. 20-year-old Audrey Backenberg lived in Reedsburg with her husband and 2 children before disappearing that summer. She was last seen picking up her paycheck from her job. The family babysitter later said she and Backenberg hitchhiked to Madison, took a bus to Indianapolis, and then she disappeared. Sauk County Sheriff's deputies finally confirmed yesterday that Backenberg is alive and now living out of state. She told investigators she left in 1962 by her own choice and not as a result of criminal activity or any foul play.
A former employee at a Fox Point church is charged with stealing tens of thousands of dollars from the church over years.
Karen White was a former office manager at North Shore Congregational Church. A criminal complaint notes the church was first tipped off to an issue when leaders discovered a credit card balance of over $20,000 on a card that normally doesn't carry a balance. White eventually admitted to investigators she took around $35,000 dating back to 2017. Despite the admission to investigators, White entered a not guilty plea on 3 felony charges in court Thursday. She faces up to 30 years in prison. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The church says no other employees are involved.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is ready to see an abandoned boat stuck on Milwaukee's lakefront gone once and for all. The mayor tells WTMJ he's been in contact with County Executive David Crowley about how the boat will be removed.
We did touch base about the anonymous donor that was coming in to help out with the removal, which unfortunately hasn't happened at this point right now. We haven't talked about what the county is going to do, but I mean, I wish them well. I mean, again, I'm agnostic about how it happens. I just want the thing gone.
Milwaukee County is planning to shut down part of Lincoln Memorial Drive to move the boat early Tuesday morning.
It is getting harder and harder to afford a house. CBS Jim Krasula.
Looking to buy a home? You'll need to earn at least $114,000 a year to afford a $431,000 home, the national median listing price last month. That's according to data from Realtor.com. The earnings figure is nearly $50,000 more than just 6 years ago, when the median U.S. home was listed for $315,000.
The annual income to afford a median price U.S. home for the first time across the 6-figure mark as of May of 2022.
President Trump is putting an end to a tariff loophole. It exempts packages entering the U.S. under $800 from duties. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer.
Concerns over China's exploitation of this so-called loophole aren't new. Last fall, President Biden announced restrictions on what was eligible after House Democrats, both moderate and progressive, penned a letter urging President Biden to end the practice they said expose American consumers to great risk by flooding the market with fake and sometimes dangerous imported goods. But for people who make their products here in the U.S. using some of those small ticket items from China, this is just another way that things could get a whole lot more expensive for consumers.
This is expected to raise prices and delay delivery times for millions of packages daily.
Welcoming the first peregrine falcon chicks of 2025. We Energies confirms 2 chicks were born to parents Essity and Joel. This morning, they hatched at the Oak Creek Power Plant. 2 more eggs are expected to hatch there from their nest at any time. 10 more are also expected to hatch any day now. Voting on names for the chicks ends May 8th. So far, 453 falcons have hatched at We Energies and WPS facilities since the program started in the 1990s.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After conversations with the Indiana Pacers front office, Tyrese Halliburton's father, John, will not attend the team's home and road games for the foreseeable future. That, according to a spokesperson for the team. This comes after an interaction with Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo after the team's playoff loss to the Pacers on Tuesday. And the Brewers are home after their road trip to face the Cubs for a 3-game weekend series at American Family Field. Our coverage starts right after the 6 o'clock news right here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
Hey, my yard is looking pretty sweet. I am jazzed. It looks fantastic. Thank you, Landworks Wisconsin. My curb appeal, fantastic. Right now, everything's sprouting. It got planted last fall, and it looked good. This year, it's taken another step forward. A few changes like we made can make a huge difference. Landworks Wisconsin specializes in bringing your landscaping dreams to life. From refreshing your existing gardens to creating entirely new outdoor environments, think gorgeous new plantings, inviting pathways, expertly designed spaces to relax and entertain. Don't wait. Call the teams I trust at Landworks or visit landworkswisconsin.com. Let's make your yard the envy of the neighborhood.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Every child deserves a strong start in life. Nextdoor does just that to help more than 1,400 children from birth to 5 years old with under-resourced children get a strong start with high-quality and personalized education at no cost to families every year. We have Missy with us, Missy Hodzinski. Yes, with Nextdoor to share their mission this month of May. It's called Read for Children, and you're always in the library.
Yes.
And what do you tell the kids before we read to the children?
Yeah, we say crisscross applesauce, hands in your lap,
ear volume up, voice volume down.
How do you know that, Julia?
Because I would volunteer there.
Oh,
Yes.
that's really cool. And does that put the kids in okay, we know what we're supposed to do.
We're ready. We're transitioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're excited to hang out and read some
I
great
love that.
books
That's so
with our
fun.
reader friends.
What's awesome is that the volunteers, which is what we're trying to do all this month, they read to the children. Then at the end of the hour or half hour or 15 minutes, every 20 minutes or so, they're able to pick out their own book.
Yeah.
That's donated. So the goal is to read 100,000 minutes to children in May.
Whoa.
Yes.
So what do you need to get to that goal?
We need volunteers. We need people to come and sign up to read with our children. We have opportunities at both of our locations, and it's a really rewarding experience. Many people enjoy sitting down and reading. It's a very relatable activity, whether they enjoy doing it themselves or they enjoy sharing it with other individuals, whether it's their children, their nieces, their nephews, or friends. So we're looking for people to
No.
come and read.
I should do this. This sounds really cool.
It is, and our kids are fantastic.
What's the age of the kids that you can read to?
We serve 1,000 children all throughout Milwaukee,
Whoa.
and they are infants up to 5 years old.
Oh.
So our reader friends like Julia become instant celebrities.
It's my
they
favorite part
love
of the week.
hanging out with you.
It was. Now that I have to, I have to work. But when I
Yep.
had my weekends when I would have to work, I had Thursday, Friday off, so I could do Thursday
Oh.
morning. Oh my gosh, it's the best part of the whole week to do this. If you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, WATCH, to our Citing Unlimited Talk and text line, you can see some adults and kids that volunteer that are reading to the children. What do you think this means to all the children to have, someone that may look like them, a peer, or someone in the community read to them?
It's their new friend.
Yes.
You know, there's so much in early childhood education that is language and literacy building, but it's also social emotional. When you share a story with someone, they're learning what it's like to make a new friend. And to be able to bond with a person about a book and a story, it makes them excited. And that's what we're doing. We're building a love of reading at Nextdoor. And we do it in many ways within our libraries, within our classrooms, with our reading specialists as well. But being able to share a story really helps a kid get excited about learning to read, learning to discover what happens within each book.
It's really fun. Like, you know, even if some of them can read at like 3 years old, it's amazing. And other ones, you know, if you want to make sure you have their attention, you look for a color blue on a page or something. It makes you more interesting and fun to adults too.
Right.
You have special people already lined up, right?
Yes, we do.
I love this. Members of our community want to get involved. Who's going to read?
The first person to get back to us was Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
Oh, that's cool.
So he will be in on Monday reading to a class of 4-year-olds over at our 29th Street location. We are so excited to welcome him, and we know how charismatic, and he was enthusiastic to be able to sign up for this kind of opportunity and join us in supporting such a mission-focused event.
And Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky,
Our buddy is going to be there.
Yes. So he'll be there on Friday. He's going to come with his firefighter gear on, and
No way.
he's going to read a story about firefighters as well. So we're very excited for the kids to have that opportunity. Again, getting to know their community and bringing access to those around them into their school community is such a great way to really get our kids the experiences that, you know, any child needs.
So how do I volunteer? What do I do if someone's listening and wants to do this?
So you visit our website, which is www.nextdoormke.org, and it's Read for Children is our event. All of the opportunities are posted on there. Simply click the link and sign up for what works for you. It may be one day. Maybe you want to come more days. That's fine. We're pretty flexible. And again, you're helping us meet that mission of reading for 100,000 minutes.
Awesome.
Reading makes such a difference in kids' lives. This is such a cool thing, Missy. This is really cool.
Missy Hudzinski with Nextdoor. Again, the website?
www.nextdoormke.org. Read for Children.
It's worth it. Missy, thank you so much for all you do.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great weekend.
Yes, you too.
It is 4:42 at WTMJ. It's been a green week for the stock market. It's been pretty incredible, actually. Today ended on another strong note. What does the jobs report tell us about what's likely to happen next? What does next week look like? Dave Spano gets out his crystal ball and joins us live up next on WTMJ.
Are you getting older and ready to simplify your life? Ceriso at Grace Commons in Menominee Falls is your answer. Come tour these beautiful new duplex and fourplex homes. Filled with modern amenities and designed for older adults, Ceriso is a maintenance-free community built around a central resident clubhouse that features a pickleball court, golf simulator, walking paths, and much more. Rent starts at $34.60 per month. Call today and tour Ceriso at Grace Commons, a Capri community. CapriCommunities.com.
What do your favorite vacation, investment portfolio, and backyard all have in common? The perfect theme for your next call to Outdoor Living Unlimited for a new dream backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited can bring your best vacation to your backyard and show you what a worthwhile investment back into your own property can look like. New deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and a must-see automated pergola? Let Outdoor Living Unlimited design your new space, build your new space, and you can relax in style at home. Find us at OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. I trust the teams at Annex and have for a very long time. In a world of market volatility and growing concern over the economy, you and your loved ones deserve an investment and retirement plan that's sharp, focused, and built around what matters most to you. Annex Wealth Management is here to help carve a clear path through the retirement you've always envisioned and you deserve. Unlike part-time fiduciaries, Annex is fully committed, all in, legally bound to prioritize your interest every step of the way. There's no product pushing, no commissions, no fluff, just expert guidance in investment and retirement planning, plus tailored tax and estate strategies. I've used their tax experts, their estate experts, they're in-house, they're local, they're incredible. As a proudly local, independent firm serving Southeast Wisconsin and Northern Illinois, Annex meets you where you are with options like Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, or Annex Ignite. And if you're working with another firm, hey, it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion. Just check it out. Are you ready to ease the worry and take control? Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click Get Started. Michelle and I did that years ago, and schedule your appointment today. Know the difference. I know the difference. It's Annex Wealth Management.
Some current employees or candidates for jobs may seem just average at first glance, while others have exceptional potential waiting to be discovered. Question is, how do you identify which ones are truly ready to excel? The LAK Group offers a huge range of employee assessments, so you have objective data backed by research to make hiring and development decisions. They even have culture assessments to uncover gaps and opportunities within your company. See all their assessments at transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
I'm Libby Collins. This week, we talk with filmmaker Michael Jarr about a compelling documentary he's made, The Joshua Glover Story.
Joshua Glover had been arrested. Sherman Booth goes over to the jail and tries to find out if this is true. Then he gets on a horse and rides through the downtown streets of Milwaukee like Paul Revere, calling people to turn out and telling them that a man's liberty is at stake.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lassica, how are the roads right now? Your mic is off, Deb.
Sorry about that. I hit the button and it didn't even go. All right, northbound on 4394, just past Howard Avenue, we do have a crash. It is off on the right shoulder. We've also got an accident southbound 43 at about North Avenue. The outer lanes are blocked. Only the center lane is open. Looks like they may have opened that left lane already. So that's still going to be causing some big delays coming in from Hampton all the way down past North Avenue. We've got a vehicle fire on southbound 43 at Silver Spring off on the right shoulder. I'm not really seeing any flames or smoke with that, so hopefully it's just an overheat. Other than that, we've got this other accident on 894 southbound heading into the Hale in the left shoulder. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Slight chance of showers tonight, a low of 39 degrees. Tomorrow, showers may happen early in the morning. Then you get some afternoon sunshine tomorrow. 49 at the lake is your high, 56 your high inland. Sunday, the clouds increase, a slight chance of showers late Sunday. 56 your high at the lake, 63 your high inland. Monday, partly cloudy, a slight chance of showers throughout the day Monday. 54 by the lake, 61 inland by the is your high. Tuesday, partly cloudy, 64 by the lake. Inland, 72 degrees will be your high. Right now in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 46 degrees.
I've been doing the happy dance all day.
Mm-hmm.
The markets were great today. The markets were great all week. The S&P 500 is now on the longest winning streak since 2004. Yeah.
Really?
That's what I'm talking about. They've actually reclaimed all the losses from when Trump introduced the tariffs. Let's go. Let's go. It's green. It's green.
You have a spring in your step.
I know. It's all good. Dave Spano, who always tells me, don't get too high, don't get too low. You're in it for the long term. He's the CEO of Annex Wealth Management. He's the smartest guy I know, and he is with us. Dave, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's that happy dance looks good. I expect to see it when I see you in about an hour to watch the world's best MC at work.
Oh,
are you going to be there, Dave?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
The Oxygen Ball, my friend Dr. Joe de Guzman.
Oh, he's a great guy. Getting a big honor. Oh, I'm so happy you're going to be there, Dave. Oh. And you're going to see the spring in my step because the week has been really good. Tell us kind of what unfolded this week. Give us your analysis of this week.
Well, if you look at the charts and just see how we recovered, it looks like perhaps the bottom is in. And why is that? Because we're starting to get some clarity. If you talk to a lot of small businesses, a lot of investors, they're uncertain about how this is going to look. And the farther we can get down the road of getting some certainty, and obviously we don't have that quite yet, the market is starting to settle down. That is number one. And number two, we are right in the middle of earnings reports. 180 of the S&P 500 reports came out. A lot of them were good. Some good results out of tech. And so when you get through earnings, and again, this happens every quarter, we get the earnings reports, and when they're positive, that does put a little pep in the step.
So, Dave, even if the tariffs were going to stay in place, which it looks like they're easing, is there value in the markets and the leaders knowing that they're going to be in place versus hoping they're not going to be, hoping they might be, not knowing what's happening, that uncertainty?
Right. So there's these two buckets of tariffs. There's the 10% tariff that Mr. Trump is planning on because he wants the revenue, and then there's this variable tariff that we're talking about that most countries, they're telling us, are negotiating. We'll have to. It would be really good if we can get some wins on the board and say these are the countries and these are the results that we got. That would be positive. And you just talk about, some of the bigger European countries would be great. Obviously, Mexico and Canada and Japan, all positive. I do think China will be the last one to the table. However, we did see some thawing on both sides this week. So all of that has been pretty good news.
What do you think about people talking about the possibility of recession still, despite the strong jobs report?
Yeah, well, I would say, Julia, that if you look at where we are, we did have a negative print, as they say. In other words, what that means is the last quarter did have a slightly negative GDP report. Now, that could be revised, but it was just into the red. Now, if we get another one this quarter, that technically would be a recession. So I'd say it's a flip of the coin right now. There are certainly things happening that would look like they're recessionary in nature. And what I mean by that is a slowing in capital expenditures, a slowing in hiring. We did see that in the reports today. And so all of that could mean that we are slowing. If we get, even if they're two slightly negatives, that is technically a recession. The market thought that, right? So it went down 19% from its peak. And obviously when you get into a bear market, which is plus 20%, that suggests that you're in a recession. We didn't quite get there. As John led off, it started to make a lot of that ground up. But, some people have short memories, Julia. When I was saying to some client groups today, what happened in 2022, people forgot. But I will remind all your listeners that in 2022, from peak to trough, the S&P was down 25% just in 2022. So this is not an unusual circumstance. And as Buffett said, by the way, tomorrow is Buffett Fest. It is the annual meeting for Berkshire. He usually comes up with a great quote. But, when there's an opportunity in the street, that's really when you want to take it.
Julia's got something cool on Buffett, actually.
He's turning 95 this summer, and he says he still works weekends. Now, I know that you are trying to help people prepare for retirement. What do you think about that?
Yeah, he obviously needs some more money, so and he's going to be super happy when he gets overtime not taxed in the new tax bill, because obviously that's going to make a big deal for him. He had originally said that he was going to give all of his money away to the Gates Foundation. Now he's kind of walked that back a little bit, so that is interesting. But when you love what you do, Julia, it doesn't matter if it's at nights or weekends. He loves what he does. He's really, really good at it. He's had so many great sayings that have been used in our business, price is what you pay and value is what you get. I mean, that's a great line. Of course, we'll remember in September of 2008, he said, when people are skeptical, that's when you really want to get into the market. So, when people are fearful, be greedy, and when they're greedy, be fearful. That was a great line that he wrote to the Wall Street Journal. So I'm sure we might get another good one tomorrow. And again, 95 years old and still sharp as a tack.
Right. I mean, who does that at 99? Or 95?
Dave, what would it take for you to still work at 95?
Well, I'm already can't remember names, and I'm not quite 95 yet, so I might have to start on the Prevagen pretty soon. But I did tell you, there's a lot of great things happening. We look at this thing happening this weekend. We have we've obviously, I'm sure I can't see into the studio right now, but I'm sure that you all have the hats on and mint juleps. Tomorrow is the race, and you know who the number one pick is, John? I'm sure you do.
I don't remember the horse's name.
Journalism.
That's
journalism.
Right. And there's also
to the two journalists.
Publisher.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go journalism.
Let's go. The two journalists in the room are going to be doing some more happy dancing.
Yeah, we are pro-journalism. Hey, Dave, do you expect that we will start to hear deals? Like, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't heard that the deal's been struck with Italy or a deal's been struck with Vietnam or something like that.
Yeah, I've said all along that I have a lot of faith in Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, and he's the adult in the room, as I like to say. He's gonna put some deals together. I expect to start, maybe not this week, but soon, you could start to see some trade deals coming together, which would be good. The other stuff that's going to happen, which means we're going to continue to have some volatility, is there's some things that are brewing in the background, and that's the debt crisis, right, and the debt ceiling. That conversation has to happen. Obviously, the tax bill, they were trying to get something done by Memorial Day. I don't know that that's going to happen. And, now the second part of this is maybe by Independence Day, which would not be a bad thing, but to get some clarity on the tax bill and, of course, whatever the Fed is going to do. So if you want to end up on a positive note, if you get a tax bill and clarity there, if you get some clarity on tariffs, if you know what's going to happen with the debt ceiling, and of course, if the Federal Reserve begins to lower rates, which the market is telling them to do. I know Trump wants to lower rates, but it's supposed to be independent. The market, the 2-year Treasury and the 10-year Treasury is telling the market that the Fed should move. So all of this could be positive for the second half of the year.
Yeah, and for the past 2 weeks, Dave, mortgage rates have gone down. They've
Right.
dropped each of the last, I think, 15 days I read. So that is good news. How important is it that the Fed stay independent?
Well, they have to. I mean, I think any interference. You saw what happened, around the world. I mean, it's the dollar. The U.S. dollar is the world's currency, so they have to stay independent. And I know Trump's been beaten on the chairman, but they have now. They can't become entrenched either, John. Right? Because he said that he wants to lower. He's put them in a predicament because now if they lower rates, they're going to look like they kowtowed. Right? But the reality is, if you look to independent sources, if you look, for example, on inflationary pressure has been relieved significantly, all of this would suggest that we could see some lowering of the Fed. But I do believe independence is key.
Dave Spano is the CEO of Annex Wealth Management, and he will be the best-dressed guy at the Oxygen Ball Gala. That's going to be in about an hour.
Yeah,
I'll see you there,
John's
buddy.
Changing in 45 minutes.
I am. I'm going to put my tux on here in the
Mid-show.
studio and sneak over there.
Tux, he's got tails, he's got a top hat,
Yes.
a monocle. He's going to be
He's going to do his hair, too, he said.
Yeah, that's right. Just
Right.
special. Dave, I'll see you in about an hour. Thanks for always
Sounds
being
good.
with us.
All right, you bet.
It is 4:56 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Kohl's Corporation fires its CEO Ashley Buchanan after less than 4 months on the job. The Menominee Falls-based company alleged that Buchanan had violated company policies regarding conflicts of interest. Vendetta Coffee Bar expands with a third cafe, this time in Milwaukee's Bayview neighborhood. The Italian-style cafe is set to take over the former Interval Coffee location at 2268 South Kinnickinnick Avenue. A.O. Smith increases prices on its water heaters by 6 to 9%. The Milwaukee-based company said the higher prices are due to the impact of tariffs on steel and components. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service, luxurious accommodations, and extraordinary events. This spring, come together and celebrate with loved ones in the hotel's newly renovated and distinguished grand ballroom. Experience a time-honored tradition, create exceptional memories, and show appreciation with a sensational Mother's Day brunch. Celebrate Mom this spring at the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Mother's Day is almost here. Don't forget your mom. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Take your mother and grandmother to the brunch buffet at the Mine Shaft Restaurant. Mom and grandmama, they're going to love that Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford, locally family-owned for over 46 years. It's a great place. It's the most generous and affordable Mother's Day brunch. It's a great place for the family. Bring the kids, bring everybody. It's everything mom loves for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's all you can eat, a huge dessert table, $24.99. Kids and grandkids under 3 eat for free. Your mom can relax with a Bloody Mary, a mimosa, a glass of wine. Hell, it's Mother's Day. Let her have all 3 if she wants them. No cooking, no cleanup. It's the Mine Shaft. The kids can safely play in that world-class game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area, while you and Mom finish up your brunch. The Mine Shaft is super family-friendly. You won't spend a lot of money on your Mother's Day brunch at the Mine Shaft. Tables do fill quickly, so call and reserve today. MineShaftRestaurant.com, MineShaftRestaurant.com in beautiful downtown Hartford.
You've got several kids, or your job and other commitments keep you buried with work.
Meanwhile, the clutter is piling up at home. How can people stay tidy when their lives are in chaos?
We have a solution to help you chase away the chaos.
Yes. He's Dan, and I'm Katie. Together, we're Inspired Closets.
Our team at Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space via gorgeous closet renovations.
And our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer. Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
Stop struggling to get your job posts seen on other job sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs feature helps you stand out and hire fast. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
The Brewers are back home to take on the dreaded Chicago Cubs.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Big hop for Terang. Tosses to first in time. And the Brewers have shut out the Cubs.
Our coverage of the I-94 rivalry starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, an accident near Yellowstone leaves 7 people dead.
I'm Julia Fello, working on more than just lead remediation.
Debbie Lazaga, northbound on 4394, still dealing with a crash off on the right shoulder, just north of Holt Avenue, so watch out for that. We've also got some delays with an accident southbound 43, right about at North Avenue. The right lane is still blocked with this, so you're going to have to shift over to the 2 left lanes there. It is still very heavy from Silver Spring all the way down to North Avenue. Northbound's backed up from just past the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. And then on 894 southbound, they're still dealing with the crash there, heading into the Hale interchange on the left shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 42. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, a high of 57. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Idaho police say 7 people are dead after a pickup truck and a tour van collided last night.
It was on a rural highway about 16 miles outside of Yellowstone National Park, where a Dodge Ram pickup and a Mercedes passenger van operating as a tour vehicle hit. Both of them caught fire. The driver of the pickup died, as did 6 people in the van. The van had a tour group of 14 people in it. Idaho State Police say they're investigating the crash. It's unclear the conditions of the other victims who survived. Alex Stone, ABC News.
About 5 million borrowers will face mandatory collections from the Department of Education for the first time in more than 5 years, starting Monday. Bank Rates student loan counselor Andrew Pentis.
If you are in default on your federal student loan, meaning that you're 270 or more days late on your last payment due date, then you could start to face these consequences of debt collection, which include not only debt collectors sort of pursuing that late federal student loan payment, but also some potential serious consequences like wage garnishment, as well as the offsetting of federal payments, like your tax refund.
A Milwaukee nonprofit is contributing $10,000 toward the cost to remove an abandoned boat on the city's lakefront.
President of the Daniel Hone Foundation, Daniel Steininger, was driving along the lakefront last October when he tells WTMJ he noticed a couple, later identified as Richard and Sherry Wells of Mississippi, wandering near their grounded boat, Deep Thought.
She was seriously injured. I talked to him right away, tried to hook him up with a lawyer and get him some help.
Steininger says while the boat clearly needs to be removed, he doesn't agree with those upset about the Wells' inability to pay for the boat's removal.
They don't have any money. I mean, these poor people's lives have been destroyed.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
On Tuesday, that boat is going to be removed, so Lincoln Memorial Drive will be closed in both directions between Lafayette Hill and East Tower Road from early morning to late afternoon. North Point parking lot is also going to be closed. The park system says the time frame could change depending on the weather, and the cost to remove this abandoned boat is now more than $100,000.
Coming up, getting the rookies ready in Green Bay.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Get 0% financing for up to 6 years at Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When having new Fello windows and doors installed at your home, you get the full Fello experience. That means we're with you from start to finish. Our team doesn't disappear after the work is done. Just like with Vinny, your Fello experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Fello was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
With customizations driving limitless possibilities, our Fello experts truly listen to your vision, just as we did with Nicole.
I felt like they really listened to us. There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, offer some suggestions, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait any longer, because right now at Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PelloWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 10 weeks now, currently in the maintenance phase. Hit my goal, 35 pounds, reached my weight loss goal easy, fast, safely, and I'm going to continue working with a wonderful team at Milwaukee Weight Loss.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:06.
Rookies assemble. Packers rookies are spending time in Green Bay this week for a 2-day minicamp.
Including first-round draft pick, wide receiver Matthew Golden.
Excited to be here, get the offense down and, like I said, just get back to playing football.
Golden was the fastest wide receiver tested, but he won't get to show off that speed, at least not yet.
It's going to be low intensity. It's going to be more teaching. That way, when they come back, it's not like you have to slow down the whole group.
Head coach Matt LaFleur appreciates any opportunity to connect with his players.
It's always exciting when you get to work with your players. That's why we got into this thing.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Full team activities begin in late May.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there. I wanted to get to the WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Hey, they're back home finally. After a 4-6 road trip, the Brewers welcome in the Cubs for a 3-game weekend series beginning tonight. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
I got something cool going on that I'd like you to be part of. It's a trip to the South, America's music cities in early December. New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville. It's a great itinerary. It's loaded with fun and food and Christmas lights and holiday-style stuff. It is New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville. New Orleans, Memphis, Nashville. The soulful city of New Orleans, right there in the vibrant French Quarter. That's where our hotel is. All the hotels on this trip are magnificent, by the way. Memphis is the birthplace of the blues. We'll take in that music, have some great meals, and tour Elvis Presley's Graceland. Nashville, a horse-drawn carriage ride, lots of Christmas lights, the history. It's incredible. It's America's music cities. I'd love to get you the information. Send me an email. I'll send you the brochure right away with beautiful pictures, pricing, detailed itinerary. John@WTMJ.com. It's really easy. John@WTMJ.com. We've also got a meeting coming up. It's free. I'll be there. Colette will be there. Slideshow, videos, and you can sign up for the trip or get more info. I'll give you info on the trip and on the meeting if you send me an email. John@WTMJ.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John Mercure and Julia Fello.
Happy Friday. Having Dave Spano on put me in such a good mood. He's so happy about the markets. He's so optimistic about the future. I'd like to be married to him because, well, that didn't sound right. Because he's so optimistic.
I don't blame him. I don't blame you.
For wanting to be married to him?
Yeah.
I know. We were on commercial break. You said you wanted to be married to him.
There you go.
He could have 3 wives. Me and you and his actual wife, Kim.
There you go.
Yeah, he'd probably have his hands full. Kind of like Jason.
Especially with me.
Jason has his hands full all the time. There's no doubt about that. You are a handful. All right, let's get to the stories that maybe you haven't heard a lot about.
In case you missed it.
Appleton, Wisconsin.
Hello.
Hey, Deb, would you like to be married to Dave Spano, too?
Sure, why not?
Okay, we're collecting
Let's
wives.
just have the entire WAN crew married.
I like
to
it. I
Dave
like
Spano.
it. He'd be a very happily married man. Appleton. An Appleton bank robber said he'd rather be in jail than homeless. Well, he got his wish. Martin Schurtermeyer robbed a Wells Fargo in Appleton. He was found 20 minutes later with $2,000 in cash. He pled no contest, telling the judge, "This is the easiest way for me to go to jail. I lost my last job for taking too many sick days. I'm not a good employee. I don't want to prolong the inevitable. I'm running out of money. I'm going to have to live on the streets, so I want to go to jail." The judge said, "Well, then you did the right thing. You robbed a bank." He got sentenced to 5 years in jail. He got his wish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In case you missed it.
Prince Harry speaking with the BBC. It was unexpected. Just came out today after losing a major court battle in the UK to get state-funded security that he wanted for himself and his family when they visit the UK, saying he's gutted. He says he now can't see a world in which he can bring his wife and the children to the UK because of so many death threats. He was number 1 in 2020 for the level of threat, above the Queen at the time.
Wow.
Then he opened up about his relationship with the king, his father.
I would love reconciliation with my family. there's no point in continuing to fight anymore. As I said, life is precious. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff. But it would be nice to reconcile.
He says he thinks the security was removed as punishment to send a message to the rest of the family that if you leave, this is what can happen. The prince tried to argue that this was a role he was born into. He didn't have a choice. And he said in the interview, the threats are very real. He believes some people want history to repeat itself. That's what he said. Like his mother, Princess Diana, he was alluding to her death.
Wow.
In case you missed it.
Dateline, Alvord, Texas.
Hello.
Thank you. All right. Well, how's about $800,000 in dimes?
Whoa. That's a lot of dimes.
Spilled out of a truck on a Texas highway. Oh, my gosh. Talk about your mess. It's a tractor trailer that was hauling $800,000 in dimes rolled over in an incident. The spillage led to the closure of a portion of the southbound lanes of US 287 for about a half a day as the workers got on their hands and knees to pick up the coins. Oh, yeah. In addition to brooms and shovels and large industrial vacuums. Holy cow. The driver and the passenger were transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And Alvord is located about 80 miles northwest of Dallas. The only reason why I mentioned that is that I'm booking my ticket right now for Alvord, Texas, so that I can bring my metal detector and see what I can find. Because holy cow, you know they didn't get all of it.
Well done.
In case you missed it.
John, Julia, when was the last time you went to a department store?
Yesterday.
I went a couple months ago.
Okay, well, North America's oldest retailer is now shutting its doors. Founded today in 1670 in London, Hudson's Bay Company started out as a fur trading company commissioned by King Charles II. The HBC functioned as the de facto government in Rupert's Land, the area that surrounds Canada's Hudson Bay, for nearly 200 years, until the company relinquished that control of it to Canada in 1869. Compared to Macy's and Marshall Field's, the Bay was up until the 20th century. The Bay was the store for a majority of goods in North America, with department stores running continuously for 144 years straight.
Whoa.
From a fur trading company, HBC expanded and evolved into a mercantile business, selling a wide variety of products from furs to fine homeware to a small number of sales shops to establishing its own oil and gas company for a time. But modern times have caught up with the once monopolistic juggernaut. As of March of this year, after 355 years of business, Hudson's Bay Company announced it was closing all of its department and online stores for good. What was essentially the equivalent of a company the size of Amazon has now become a shadow, with liquidation sales taking place right now.
Because of Amazon.
In case you missed it.
All right, it's 5:13 at WTMJ. Chandra Holt's been fired. Do you know who Chandra Holt is?
Yes.
Ashley Buchanan's lover, the former CEO of Kohl's. We've got the scoop up next.
A Rolex isn't as cheap as a Casio, but while they last, you can buy high-end Beautyrest Black and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for nowhere near high-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like a Beautyrest Black LX Hybrid was $3,599, but now it's just $971. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
Loyal Family Renovations. Guess what? They did the roof at my house. Absolutely fantastic, thorough, polite, a local husband and wife team. Jeff and Amy are amazing. You have a lot of choices when it comes to who's going to do your roof. Go with a company that's local. Go with a company that makes it easy to work with your insurance company. That can be half the hassle if a storm comes through and you need your roof replaced or your gutters and downspouts. I needed all that replaced. Loyal Family helped me with the insurance part of it. They helped me do the project right. They gave me lots of choices and colors. They are fantastic. Loyal Family Renovations. It says it all in the title. Loyal Family.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
A Blaine's Farm and Fleet original story.
Sarah, how are you going to do a raised vegetable garden on this tiny condo balcony?
Grab that Craftsman drill and let's hang that trellis on the ceiling.
We've got the value you need to do things your way, like select Fiskars garden hand tools, $7.99, 15% off Varathane wood stains, and Miracle Grow all-purpose garden soil 2 for $8. Plus, find value on live plants in our outdoor garden centers, now open. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlawn's Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, it looks like we've got these delays on 43, and they are pretty nasty. We've got delays from before Hampton, pretty much all the way down past an accident scene. Well, actually, now it's not really an accident scene anymore. It's just debris in the right lane. So I think that's what's left over. It's basically a barrel that's kind of sticking into that right lane. It's slow anyway from before Hampton all the way down. Northbound's backed up out of the Marquette up past Keefe. We've also got eastbound 94 backing up from just before 84th Street to Holly Road. Westbound's nice and quiet. Everything's rolling along well there. Northbound on 41, heavy from Watertown Plank Road up to Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, cloudy, a low of 39. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 56. Sunday, increasing clouds, a high of 63. Monday, cloudy, 61. Tuesday, partly cloudy, a high of 72.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDrakeCamp.com.
Oh, yeah. When Ashley Buchanan and Chandra Holt get together, it's Barry White all night long. Ashley Buchanan is the fired CEO of Kohl's, who is having a romantic relationship with Chandra Holt. That's fine. She's a big-time consultant. What's not fine is the board of directors says that Buchanan awarded Kohl's business to her without disclosing that they were romantically involved.
Multi-million.
Yes, multi-million-dollar consulting agreement he basically gave to his girlfriend, according to authorities. That's not okay. That's unethical, according to experts, but he did it anyhow, so he got fired. Well, guess what? She works for Boston Consulting Group, or should I say she used to, because she's also been fired from her big-time job. Oh. Boston Consulting Group saying, we were shocked to learn of the relationship between Chandra Holt and Ashley Buchanan. We have strict guidelines for our senior advisors to disclose any conflicts of interest. Buchanan and Holt met while the two were rising corporate stars at Walmart. So now they have both been fired. They're both chilling. They're both sitting at home on this Friday, having a cocktail and unemployed.
I mean, when did he add an extra 0 to that? I mean, he should have called me and been my friend, and I would have told him, don't do that. $20 million compensation package down the drain.
Don't do it, Ashley. It's not worth it.
So let's say you work and you get $200,000 a year, which is a good salary.
Yes.
To get to $20 million, John, you'd have to work 200 years.
I'm not good at math. Is that right, math? I'm trusting you.
Would you choose love over $20 million?
We don't even know if it's love. This is like booty call. No, I would not. No.
That's the accusation.
That's the accusation. Like Barry White says.
You would not?
No. It's 5:19 at WTMJ. Colders has something super special going on right now. They've got their sale of the year. This is actually incredible. The Memorial Day savings is going on right now. Right now. They've never done this before. Literally, they have pricing store-wide that is 65% off. Furnitures and mattresses, sofas, sectionals, dining tables, bedroom sets. I just bought a sectional and a dining room set there. A bedroom set. Because the incredible sales are happening now. It's at Colders. They've got all those locations, West Dallas, Delafield, Oak Creek. I shopped in Delafield. They're in Grafton. They've got the best support staff in the stores. Their salespeople are incredible. I worked with Judy. Michelle is thrilled, and this is going to make your wallet happy. Right now, store-wide, save 65% on furniture and mattresses. And if you're shopping for the kitchen or the laundry, that's an extra 5% off right now. At Colders, you can shop all your favorite appliance brands in-store, online. They're going to take care of you big time, all the time. It's Colders. Friends and Family Sale ends Monday, May 5th. They're open weekends. Get in there and get your deal going. 60-month financing is also available at Colders. But the important part of this, at Colders right now, a proud Wisconsin company, save 65% on all the furniture and all the mattresses at all 4 of their stores. Or check them out at Colders.com.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you've saved in a 401k or IRA, you might think you're set for retirement. But here's something you need to know. Every dollar you withdraw could be taxed. And with rising government debt, future tax hikes could take an even bigger bite out of your savings. Imagine reaching retirement only to realize the IRS is taking more of your money than you expected. It's one of the biggest risks that retirees face, spending their savings without a plan for taxes. And once you're retired, it's often too late to fix it. That's why I want to help you create a tax strategy now so you can keep more of your hard-earned money. At Drake & Associates, we focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you lower your lifetime tax bill and maximize your retirement income. And right now, I'm offering you a free retirement toolkit, plus a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready, to show you how to keep more of your money working for you, not the IRS. Text TAX to 414-897-9522 to claim your free copies. Don't wait until tax rates rise. Start planning today. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you keep more of what you've earned.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Oh, it's getting tougher to get away. Air traffic control issues at a huge New York airport are bad. How bad? Alex Stone knows. ABC Los Angeles with us this afternoon. Hey there, Alex.
They're bad. Back to you. Oh,
all right.
no.
There you go.
Exactly.
It's not good, is it?
No, it's been a real bear at Newark Liberty Airport this week. And It's United's big hub. If you go to New York, you're probably going to go to Newark. They have a couple of flights that go into LaGuardia, but most of it's all going to be Newark. And Monday and Wednesday, air traffic control computers glitched out, and there have been staffing problems and runway construction. It all came together in a royal mess. The average delay in Newark yesterday was about 5 hours, and hundreds of flights were canceled. They didn't go at all, but this woman was trying to get out, and she says it was nuts.
I fly all the time. I don't remember things being this bad.
So Newark is unique. Yes, there are the air traffic control staffing and equipment issues like everywhere in the country, but controllers in Newark are really, really mad right now because their jobs are being moved to Philadelphia, where they're going to do the air traffic control for planes landing and taking off, not the actual movement on the ground where you got to be on a tower. But when you're at a center, which is, in a big building that's off property anyway, it could be done from Africa. It doesn't really matter. They don't have to be right there. So they're being moved to Philadelphia. And this week there were 2 equipment glitches, and the controllers who were working are now claiming that they are traumatized. And under their contract, if they say that there was a traumatic event, they get 45 days off to recover from it. So
wow,
they are essentially walking off the job today. United CEO Scott Kirby sent out a letter saying over 20% of FAA controllers in Newark walked off the job this week, that this long-simmering FAA challenge boiled over, and now United's got to deal with it. It's not their problem that they created, but their planes can't take off and land, so now they're cutting 35 flights a day out of Newark to try to bring down the number of planes. But overall, the bottom line is everywhere FAA staffing is tight, equipment is crazy old and crumbling. Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, is saying we've got to fix it.
You're starting to see cracks in the system. It's our job, all of us working together, to not wait until there's a disaster.
And to hire more controllers are now doing incentives like $5,000 bonuses for trainees and graduates of the FAA Academy. And for veteran controllers who could retire, if they stay on, they're getting incentives to stay on as well. Nick Daniels is the president of their union.
Staffing is one part of the bigger picture. Our air traffic control system also urgently needs technology upgrades and infrastructure improvements.
Of the 138 air traffic control systems in use right now, 51 have been deemed unsustainable because the components are over 50 years old. They can't keep them going. So, I mean, it's, old, really old equipment. You have better equipment on your cell phone if you've used Flight Radar 24 than some of the centers have in their old radar systems that they're using. So there's this push to get the equipment up to date and the controllers to get more of them in. But bottom line, in Newark, it is that plus a lot more. A lot of politics involved. The angry controllers mad that they're training their replacements in Philadelphia,
Yikes.
walking out. It's all of that.
It is a bad situation. ABC's Alex Stone with the latest from Los Angeles. Great stuff. Alex, have a really good weekend.
You too. Thanks, guys.
It is 5:26 at WTMJ. All right, the weather forecast has kind of changed a little bit, actually. A few days ago, it sounded like it was going to be sunny on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
It's going to be warm. It's not going to be a totally terrible weekend, but it's changed a little bit. Chief Meteorologist Brian Desnansky has that. And the boat. Why can't we get rid of that boat that's beached in Milwaukee? Sheldon Wasserman is the county supervisor who's been leading the effort to try to get some movement on that. There are major developments today. Sheldon Wasserman is with us in the studio. We'll do that coming up in about 15 minutes on WTMJ. First, time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P's been on a roll, a historic winning streak, the longest winning streak for the S&P since 2004. More than 20 years, it's won back everything that was lost when Trump announced the tariffs, and everything was in the green big today. The Dow was up 564 points. The NASDAQ was up 267 points. That S&P, it was up 83 points on the day. Everything up like roughly a point and a half. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex.
Julia Fello here. So proud to be the new spokesperson for my favorite place in Milwaukee. Best Place at the historic Pabst Brewery. It's right downtown at 9th and Juneau, just 3 blocks west of Pfizer Forum. And I'm here with the owner of Best Place, Jim Hurdle.
Thanks, Julia, and thanks for having one of the best weddings at the Best Place.
Oh my goodness. As soon as Jason and I walked in, we felt transported back in history. We knew this was the perfect place to have our wedding. We looked at each other and said, this is it.
Our historic buildings date back to 1858 and 1880. And our beautiful Blue Ribbon Hall wedding venue mimics a 17th century hall right out of Germany.
We also love the outdoor courtyards.
Yes, and when they're not part of a wedding or a special event, they're part of our best tavern and our best coffee shop.
So listeners can simply just stop by and have a coffee or a beer?
We also have a full bar and some food.
Wow, you guys really are the best place. Head to bestplacemilwaukee.com and you can check out my wedding photos there. That's bestplacemilwaukee.com.
Julia, we haven't even mentioned the Best Beer gift shop featuring not only new and retro Pabst merchandise, but 23 other popular beer brands.
Your gift shop is like a beer museum.
It is, only you can buy the items.
Jim, tell them about the beer history tour.
When people come to Milwaukee, our tour, voted the best, costs just $12 to $14 and includes a beer or root beer, old beer commercials, and a 1-hour guided tour of the ornate interior of the opulent Pabst corporate offices. Afterwards, most people hang out by the fireplace or out in those courtyards.
So many beautiful photo opportunities inside and out.
And your trip to Best Place would not be complete without photos with our statues of Frederick Pabst and King Gambrinus.
We've run out of time, but Jim, thank you so much for preserving a piece of Milwaukee history. It made my wedding feel so magical.
And don't forget, folks, go to bestplacemilwaukee.com.
Yes, take a tour. Get a taste of what the best place at the historic Pabst Brewery has to offer for you. Head to bestplacemilwaukee.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story. The president lays out his budget priorities.
I'm Julia Fello, not afraid of calls for his arrest.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got delays along eastbound 94 heading past Springdale Road all the way to Moreland, then back on the brakes from 92nd Street to Hawley Road. Westbound, nice and clear. Southbound 43 backing up from just south of Silver Spring all the way down to about Center Street. We've also got more delays then just before Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette. Northbound's backed up from before Fond du Lac all the way up to Keefe. And the big delays, southbound on 41, basically backed up from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Cloudy tonight with scattered showers possible, low 42. Tomorrow, mostly to partly cloudy. Breezy and cool, a high of 57 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's mostly cloudy and 46 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the White House releasing President Trump's proposed budget for the 2026 fiscal year.
The White House budget proposal calls for $163 billion in cuts to federal spending, targeting the Departments of Education and Health and Human Services, USAID, and the Environmental Protection Agency. The blueprint being sent to Congress includes a 13% increase in defense spending. A president's budget proposal is essentially a wish list, the administration putting on paper its policy priorities with funding figures. Now it's up to Congress to develop a budget and pass it. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to clear the way for Elon Musk's Doge to get personal Social Security data from Americans. The emergency appeal comes after a judge restricted the team's access. Government says the Doge team needs access to target waste in the federal government. An appeals court majority refused to lift the block on Doge access. Social Security holds your personal records on nearly everything, from school records to your salary information.
Governor Evers is responding to threats of his arrest by federal officials. The governor released guidance in April on how state employees should interact with ICE officials in the workplace. The Trump administration's border czar, Tom Homan, responded for the governor to, quote, wait and see what's coming.
If you cross that line of impediment or knowingly harbor concealing illegal alien, that is a felony, and we're treated as such.
The governor clarified that the goal for the guidance is
to provide clear, consistent instructions to state employees and ensure they have a lawyer to help them comply with all federal and state laws. Nothing more, nothing less.
The governor insists he has not committed any crimes.
A former employee at Fox Point Church is charged with stealing tens of thousands of dollars over years. Karen White was a former office manager at North Shore Congregational Church. Court records note that White eventually admitted to police that she took about $35,000 dating back to the year 2017. The church says no other employees are involved. White entered a not guilty plea in court yesterday. She faces up to 30 years behind bars if convicted of 3 felony charges.
A Racine man gets nearly 4 years in prison for a cross-country swatting scheme using Ring cameras.
Prosecutors say Kaya Christensen Nelson from Racine stole Yahoo email logins, accessed Ring accounts, and made fake 911 calls, claiming shootings and hostage situations. When police responded, Nelson watched through the victim's doorbell cameras and even taunted officers over the speaker. The week-long spree in 2020 hit cities like West Covina and Oxnard, California. Nelson has been in federal prison in Kentucky since August of last year. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
The Texas state legislature takes up a bill that could ban social media used by minors in the state.
The bill would require social media platforms to use a form of age verification for all users in Texas to ensure kids are not setting up accounts. Republican Jared Patterson supports it.
We're going to wake up at some point in this country and realize what we have done to an entire generation of kids that are on this highly addictive product called social media.
Democrat Aaron Zwiener has concerns.
I still am struggling with this outright ban and both the effect it has on adults' privacy and on minors' right to connect.
Steve Kathan, CBS News.
The School of Architecture and Urban Planning at UW-Milwaukee has some big ideas for Milwaukee's lakefront.
A few decades ago, the Park East Freeway redevelopment, where Fiserv Forum is now, began as a student project. Now students are tackling the vision for the I-794 corridor. Molly Burns tells WTMJ.
We took a lot of time studying other cities that have also done highway redevelopment projects, realizing that it's not really something new.
Gordy Russell wants to implement Milwaukee County's Vision Zero to eliminate traffic fatalities.
Separated bike facilities, raised crosswalks, lots of traffic calming, and a better integrated transit system.
At the 3rd Street Market Hall, Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A sign of the season in Shorewood.
As long as the weather cooperates, Estabrook Beer Garden will open for the season this evening. Milwaukee County's 13 permanent and traveling beer gardens are big revenue generators every warm season. In 2024, they brought in just over $3 million, a big leap forward from 2012 when Estabrook was the county's only operating beer garden and made $82,000 in revenue. Tonight's opening ceremony begins at 6 with Milwaukee County dignitaries on hand for the inaugural keg tapping. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After conversations with the Indiana Pacers front office, Tyrese Halliburton's father, John, will not attend the team's home and road games for the foreseeable future. That, according to a spokesperson for the team, this comes after an interaction with Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo after the team's playoff loss to the Pacers on Tuesday. And the Brewers are home. After their road trip, they'll face the Cubs for a 3-game weekend series at American Family Field. Our coverage starts tonight, right after the 6 o'clock news here on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
John Mercure here. I've got a really cool trip. I'm almost done promoting it. Just a few days left. The trip is filling up fast. There are a few slots left. It's America's Music Cities for the holidays. Early December, I love these holidays trips. We are gone and back. We're back like 3 weeks before Christmas. Plenty of time to check out New Orleans, Memphis, and Nashville. All the local experiences, the flights, meals, and hotels paid for by Colette. The itinerary we've crafted is incredible. We start in New Orleans. We fly right to New Orleans. Couple cool things we do there. The soulful city, vibrant French Quarter, decked out for the holidays, fantastic food. On to Memphis, the birthplace of the blues. All sparkly for the holidays. Elvis Presley's Graceland, it's going to be beautiful. And then on to Nashville. It's such a vibrant, cool thing in Nashville. We'll take a chocolate making class, a horse-drawn carriage ride, lots of times to hang out. It's going to be fantastic. It is America's Music Cities, early December. I've got great information. Let me get it to you. Please, if you've heard this ad the past couple of weeks, we're up against the clock. Let me get you the information. You can decide. John at WTMJ.com. You send me an email. I send you pricing, photos, beautiful brochure, and information on a pre-trip meeting where you can come and ask questions and meet all of us. John at WTMJ.com. Christmas lights in history, America's Music Cities, early December. Send me an email. I send you the info. John, John, at WTMJ.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Nisnansky is with us on a Friday. Hey, Niz.
Happy Friday, guys.
Julia and I are watching you like we do every single afternoon here in the studio on the big TV. We saw the most fun moment. Brendan Johnson was talking about an orchestra. And we saw you run out with what looked like a musical instrument and tried to give it. What happened?
Well, Brendan, he's very humble about it. He's like a master class trumpet player. He's like no, he is a good trumpet player. And he's starting to get back into it with some, area organizations and stuff like that. So he had a guest in the studio, and he was getting pressure to play, and I thought I would add a little bit more pressure by bringing the instrument out to him. But thankfully for him, they ran out of time. So
there's
we'll
still
get him
time
next
now
time.
during this segment. Tell him.
Yeah, track him down.
Hey, he can have all 3 minutes of my weathercast if he wants to do a solo at 5 o'clock or at 6 o'clock here coming up.
How fun would that be?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, Julie, that's perfect.
Pretty close.
Did you ever play an instrument? Do you play an instrument, Niz?
I did, but it's been a very, very long time, and I was pretty good too. I'm not picking on Brendan at all. My primary instrument was the tuba. I played the tuba. Yeah, I know. And then I learned the trombone, because I wanted to play in the jazz band as well. So I was mostly bass clef, but then I ended up pretty much learning every brass instrument. I learned treble clef.
Wow!
So I was able to do trumpet and stuff like that. So. Yeah, and then college hit, and I just didn't pick it back up. And I could probably comfortably still play the tuba and play some notes, but anything else, it would be a disaster.
Beer and girls ruined everything.
Yeah, the girls messed everything up.
I didn't want to say that, but now that you mention it, that was pretty much it. Yes.
Did you own any of those instruments, or like the tuba? Do you rent that and keep it at the school?
I still have a tuba.
Whoa!
That lives at my parents' house, my old house.
Wow!
I did sell the I sold the trombone. But yeah, no, that's
a tuba.
Maybe
that
one of
takes
these
up
days.
A lot of space.
It does. And my parents, I'm sure, really, really loved my practicing growing up as a kid, and my neighbors too. But it's I don't have any excuse why I haven't picked it back up. Maybe Brendan can influence me on that.
Yeah, maybe. Well, we're all busy. I mean, you got kids.
You got orchestra.
A little brass. You guys could do like a quartet. Get a couple more people.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a good idea. Let me get some practicing first. Let me get the dust off
all right, that's
the old
fair.
instrument first, and we'll see what happens.
Hey, what does the weekend look like? What is tonight and the next few days?
Tricky forecast, guys, and it's all kind of like you have to sum it up because people are going to see the rain on the icons and the rain in the forecast, but I would say most of your weekend will be dry. Now, that's not the case tonight. We're watching a slow-moving area of showers progressing from the west to the east. Going to take its time, though. I mean, this stuff probably now, looking at it, is not going to make it to Milwaukee until like after 8 o'clock. So most of your evening is dry. Western spots will be a bit sooner. So on and off rain tonight into early tomorrow morning up until 6 o'clock. And then I think the rest of the weekend should be dry. It's not until Sunday evening that we could see a return of rain from what is a stalled area of low pressure that actually starts to work its way backwards for the second half of the weekend. So most of the weekend dry, not too warm. We're looking at 50s for the most part for high temperatures.
So not a lot of sunshine, but it will be dry.
There will, I would say it will be dry for the most part, but I do still think on Saturday, especially in the afternoon, we squeeze in a good deal of sunshine, and then maybe even early on Sunday, we get some sunshine as well. I think the best time frame will be late Saturday and early on Sunday.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Have a great weekend, Niz.
You too, guys. We'll see you later.
All right, it is 5:42 at WTMJ.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. There's no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now. Right now at Pella, because you get up to 6 years of 0% financing at Fello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Shut the front Pella door. No interest for 72 months, 6 years. That's amazing. And the full Pella experience is always included. That means the Pella team is with you from start to finish. They don't disappear after the work is done. Set up your free in-home consultation. You commit to nothing at this point. You get the free home consultation. The experts come into your house. Gina and her team sit down right at your kitchen table and walk you through everything. A Pella design expert will listen to your vision and bring it to life. Colors, sizes, it's all customized. Everything needed to make that vision a reality. I know it can feel overwhelming to consider what feels like limitless possibilities, but Pella's design team can help narrow those options down for you to create that dream upgrade. 0% financing for 6 years. Certain restrictions apply. Deal ends May 31st. Visit PellaWI.com today.
We didn't write the headline, the Wall Street Journal did. The days of set and forget investing just ended for many Americans. Economic uncertainty and global unrest. It's a wake-up call. Standard financial advice is to avoid making rash decisions during market turmoil. But retirement planning isn't a set it and forget it process anymore. That's where Annex Wealth Management comes in. As fee-only fiduciaries, we craft personalized plans that adapt as needed. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. We talk all the time about Tri-County Contracting, the place to go for roofs and siding, but don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also does windows. Need a new front entry door? Tri-County Contracting, or maybe a patio door that's always jammed. Get your free estimates today. They've been helping homeowners like you for 46 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get you home with Debbie Lazica. Hey, Deb, how are the roads this Friday?
Hey there, Julia. Southbound on 41, still a pretty hefty ride coming in from just before Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound's going to be slow from Watertown Plank Road up to Hampton. Eastbound 94, watch for delays from Highway F all the way past Barker Road to about Brookfield Road. Back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way to about Hawley Road. On the ramp from 70th Street to 94 westbound, looks like we've got a crash there. It is out of traffic and it's on a ramp, so shouldn't be causing too much of an issue. Southbound on 43, we do have backups from south of Hampton all the way down past North Avenue to about Fond du Lac. Northbound's backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
All right, a little bit of background. A boat has been stuck off the shore of McKinley Marina since October. It's called the Deep Thought. It's a boat that ran ashore. It ran out of gas. It's been sitting there for a long time. You've seen the pictures on the news. It's been all over the place. The county has tried to get it removed. They hired a guy who thought he could remove it, and he can't. It's still sitting there. It looks like there's going to be a great effort on Tuesday to get this thing out of the water 6 months after it became stranded. Bringing to the conversation Milwaukee County Supervisor Sheldon Wasserman, who's been heading up the effort to get this thing gone. Supervisor, thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Julie and I have been talking about this a lot. I don't mean to poke fun at this, but how have we not been able to get guys with chainsaws, guys in waders, guys that could disassemble the boat a long time ago and piece by piece or by whatever means just take it out of the water?
Well, we had a salvager who said he could get it done. You know, we trusted him, and he has experience, and he thought he could do it. And it failed in October, failed last year, and then we thought he said he could get it done this spring, and we went with it, and he was not able to do it. In fact, his boat is now stuck right next to the other boat. So we have a problem now, and we're really going to Plan B to hire a company that has experience with lifting objects, heavy objects out, and hopefully this will work.
So we're going to get a crane and pluck it out?
At this point, yes. It sounds like a crane. We're using a towing company that can remove semi-trailers along the freeway. They have experience lifting heavy objects. And hopefully it's going to work on Tuesday. We are counting on it because we do not want to go to Plan C. And
What's Plan C?
Plan C.
Blow it up. Set it on fire.
Well, the fuel's gone.
What would Plan C be?
Yeah.
It might be chopping it up like you talked about earlier.
John
But
and
I don't mean to poke fun at it, but why didn't we do that months ago?
Totally.
It seems like that wouldn't be that big a deal.
It's always better to remove this thing intact because you still have an engine in there. It has transmissions. You have mechanical parts that may still have
lubrication,
and petroleum products inside. So we want to environmentally, it's better to always take it out in mass rather than just chop it up.
But couldn't we have set up like one of those booms with the nets, like when there's an oil spill in the Gulf that captures all that stuff and contain it and then chop it up?
Hindsight's always 20/20. And maybe we could have. We have other salvagers from all over the Great Lakes are all talking about how they can do it.
We have the Port of Milwaukee right over here, and cranes and all that. I'm like, what is going on?
We don't. There's a story, and we don't know the full. We're going to look at this later. Our focus right now is get the boat out.
So both lanes of Lincoln Memorial Drive will be closed on Tuesday?
At this time, yes. The sheriffs are going to be shutting it down. We're also have we also have to make sure that people aren't right in front of this. Could become a big operation, so we don't want spectators just going right into the site. Previously, we had people. I was there when a tagger was spray painting it while Jerry and the salvage company was trying to remove it. So this is going to be completely a safe environment. We have to have experienced people do the work in a safe environment. So spectators will be kept away from this lift.
Sheldon Wasserman is with us in the studio. Thanks for your efforts. I know you really have been working hard to get this boat out of there. I want to ask you about Jerry. You brought up Jerry. He's the owner of Silo Marina. I was stunned. Not that his pontoon got stuck because I saw it. I want to ask you about the vetting process. Because this guy had a pontoon that looked like a makeshift raft, and it got stuck. What was the vetting process? Why did this guy get awarded this?
I can't speak about the exact details of this. This came from the county administration. I think it was his price was right at the time. He has experience at the time, and he said he could do it, and we trusted him. And I don't want to criticize him. I don't want to say anything. He did the best he can, and he's tried multiple times. But I think there's a point where it comes that, it didn't work. We have to move on, and we have to get this boat out. So Plan B is in operation on Tuesday.
It's kind of dangerous, too. I saw some people taking the seats out, and they're, in it, like trying to act like they're the captain. That's dangerous.
This is very dangerous.
It's taken on water.
And we also you have to get to it through these rocks, and the rocks are not stable. People are losing their cell phones. They've lost keys right in front of us. People have been digging their hands into the rocks trying to get this stuff out, let alone if you go in that boat and you fall off, you hit your head, you drown. It's eye candy. People want to play with it. They want to go out there. They want to be in it, and they want to have a part of it, and they want to spray paint it. It's out of control right now. And it's becoming dangerous, and it has to go.
So I respect that you tried to pursue getting the funding ahead of time, because we all know in anything in life, it's hard to get the money back once it's been spent. So the owners are not going to do this. They're in Mississippi. You tried to secure the funding ahead of time, which you did. So that all leads into the question, who's paying for it this time? How's it getting paid for?
Well, our first funding source was this anonymous donor, and we don't know. I don't know who they are. They contact Mayor Johnson. We know that they wanted to put out some money, but we don't know how much money. We don't know if it's for the first salvage, which Jerry the Salvager is going to cost $25,000. This is going to cost at least double that possibly. And we don't know if that anonymous donor is going to kick in for this donation. We also have the Daniel Hohn's grandson, Dan Steinbringer, is also going to kick in $10,000 of his foundation money for it. But at the end of the day, our job is we're going to pay for it. The county's going to pay for it because we're legally responsible. It's not the state DNR. It's not the Coast Guard. We wish somebody else was responsible. But we're responsible. We're going to put the money up front. We're going to get the removal done. And then we're going to go for finding who's going to pay for it, including the owners. And the current owners don't have money.
Are we going to find them and hold them responsible?
Well, they have no money. It's becoming a tragic story of this entire, their dream retirement has turned into a nightmare for them, and they have absolutely no money. So they never signed the papers properly from the old people. They never registered it. So we're going to look at the old owners. They may have the deep pockets to pay for this, but it should not be the county taxpayers' responsibility for paying this.
Exactly.
As chair of the Parks Committee, I have to deal with pickleball. I got basketball courts. I have so much of deferred maintenance, and we're not ready for thousands and tens of thousands of dollars for boat removal.
All right. You mentioned the mayor. I want to play a clip from the mayor, Vince Vitrano, talking to the mayor today, and then ask you to respond to this.
Can we put it so the suggestion was made, I think by Jerry at the salvage place, that the art museum had reached out to him as interest. The art museum was quick to point out to us that didn't come from us. But is there a home somewhere not on the beach for this boat?
Yeah, I think there is a home for it. It's in the trash. So we'll eventually get there.
First off, I was going to ask you why the mayor got involved, but I think it was because someone approached him about the donation and secured the donation.
That's my understanding.
He
correct.
sounds very frustrated. Do you share that sentiment?
Absolutely. This boat has been there for months. It's an eyesore. It's an environmental potential disaster, and people can get hurt there. It has to go, and it's taken a life on its own. I mean, I was recently, my mom's in a senior center, and when you have older people talking about it, the first thing I in is, what's going on with the boat? And I leave the senior center, like, where's the boat? And these people are in their 80s and 90s, and they know about this boat. Everybody's talking about it, and everybody wants to know, and they can go down, and we're seeing just a mass of people, and everybody can relate to a boat that's stuck there, let alone the history of this family who just didn't have a clue what boat ownership was all about. And
or how to fill up the gas.
I know it is absolutely unbelievable. This family and their dream, and they basically never should have been in boat business. If you don't even know how to put the gas in a boat, let alone do you know how to drive the boat, let alone how do you get to Mississippi from Manitowoc, Wisconsin? I mean, it's really a sad story, and people are just like, you kind of scratch your head at this. Because
they do know the Mississippi River is not connected to Lake Michigan, right? I mean, it's just a strange story.
And it just keeps going on.
One of our texters said, we put men on the moon. Why can we not get this boat removed?
I said that yesterday. We have skyscrapers.
Yeah. Let's go over the details again as best we know them, because on Tuesday there's going to be a major effort to try to get the boat out of there. Tuesday morning, they're going to get out there early. Is the best advice, if that's your route, don't go there at all, because this is going to start very early, likely Tuesday, right?
Correct. Lincoln Memorial Drive will be shut down between McKinley and Bradford Beach. So it's closed. And the sheriff's deputies are going to be shutting it down. You are not going to have access by vehicle. And as for people, spectators going down, you're going to be held back. So we have to keep this a safe environment for everybody involved, including the operators of this crane and the tow truck company.
Yeah, stay away from down there. You don't need to be down there taking pictures. Let's let them do their work and safely get the boat out of the water, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Sheldon Wasserman is the supervisor. This is in his district. We sure appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Kohl's Corporation fires its CEO, Ashley Buchanan, after less than 4 months on the job.